Hello, friends. Look, I'm streaming again like I promised. And I figured I would resume the reading. Because it's been a little bit since the last time I was doing this. And I know there is an audience for this. I know you guys, some of you do want to actually hear what happens next, so... on the bright side, though, I'm simulcasting again. My YouTube ban has been lifted. Huzzah! About damn fucking time. Hopefully it won't happen again because third strike and I'm out. But it is what it is. I still can't believe it, honestly. It's so absurd to me, but whatever, it's fine. Oh no, I undid the thing, but that's not what I meant to do. Oh, there we go. I wanted to make it bigger. Yeah, is that better? How about that? Is that too big? I feel like that might be. Okay, this is okay. This is okay, right? You guys can see that. That's visible. That's enough. All right, so let me make sure my bot is working. Yes, it is. I am on epal, so if anybody wanted to order my services, they're available. And that actually, as of today, includes the audiobook service. So you can order me doing this, reading books aloud, whenever you like, and whatever book you want to hear. You know, within reason, obviously. Within reason. We thank our sponsor, HelloFresh, for being with us again. And we are reading You by Caroline Kepnes. We got all the way till chapter 36 last time, so we are resuming from chapter 37. If you want to hear the previous chapters, the VODs are up on Twitch and YouTube. So you're more than welcome to listen to those before this if you'd like. But if you don't care about not hearing what happened before, then here we are. Long story short, the Netflix hit show You is based off of this book. There's 4 books and there are 4 seasons. This is book 1, so this would be season 1. If you saw the show, then you have a general idea what's going on. We are currently at the part where, spoilers, if you don't want to know ahead of time. Joe and Beck already met. They started their relationship and then they kind of went their separate ways, and Joe is with his rebound, Karen Minty. And he's also seeing the same therapist that Beck was seeing. Hello, Ben, welcome in. And he only went to see that therapist because he accused Beck of cheating on him with the therapist, but he actually ended up liking the therapist very much and sticking with him. But they were broken up at this point. So right now, Joe and Beck are not together, but Beck is missing Joe. Joe is still thinking about Beck and not really into Karen Minty, who's very much in love with him. And they're both still seeing the therapist, Dr. Nicky. So, you're all caught up. Chapter 37, You by Caroline Kepnes. I read enough books and seen enough movies to know that Nicky fucked up when he told me about his wife. I'm not surprised when he tells me we need to talk. He accepts full responsibility for the breach, for crossing the patient-therapist boundary. I've never seen the guy look worse, Beck. And he's such a good person, like Mr. Mooney back in the day, before he got angry at me, at life. I can't stand to hear him cut himself down. I plead, hey, come on, Doc, stop beating yourself up already. I can't tell if he's laughing or crying, and he might be the only guy on earth who can do those 2 things at once. He's a juggler, and God bless him, because I could never apologize to another dude for saying one freaking thing about my own life. Danny, he says, all I can do for you now is give you a referral. You want a referral? There are pit stains on his shirt, and his clothes are wrinkled, as if he's been in them for too long. I know how to cheer him up, and I tell him I don't need a referral because I'm better. He smiles. I go on. I tell him I don't have a mouse in my house because he's the best drink ever. How's it going with Karen? It's good, I say. I want him to feel accomplished. Seriously, the mouse is dead. I'll look into it, Ben, sure. Wow, he says, and somehow he sounds jealous. Or maybe he's just sad. I tell him that his mouse-cat theory is genius, and he likes that I use that word, genius. Of course, I don't tell him that I want to cover myself in cheese and peanut butter in order to get to the mouse to come back. He deserves better. I'm happy for you, Danny, he says. You work hard and you did your homework, and this is all you, kid. Figuring out what makes you happy is a journey. Thank you for the lurk, Rev. You make me happy. I nod. You said it. Being obsessed didn't make you happy, Nicky continues. And you knew that. And more important, you acted on that knowledge and decided to rise above your obsession. You're smart, Danny. I can't thank you enough, Doc. I wish we were all as smart as you, he says. And he has that sad, glossy-eyed look again, as he talks about how hard it is to make a mouse go away. I'm sitting and thinking about you, my beloved mouse. Okay, Ben. Nicky is right. You might never show up again. You might be gone. I know it's possible that you moved on. You could even be seeing someone. But the most important thing I know is that I want the possibility of you more than the reality of Karen Minty. And what can I say, Danny? I'm so happy your cat worked out, he says. When you came in here, I was worried. You did not look well. You looked like a prisoner. I felt like one, I say. And I did. I do. But then you got yourself a cat, he says. Amen, I say. I picture Karen Minty on all fours with your little body hanging out of her mouth. Hey, I went on YouTube and watched the Honey Drippers video today, right before you got here, he says, and his eyes pop. I can understand your obsession. That video is trippy. The guy in his Speedo with that jacket. What is that jacket doing on the hanger? We laugh, but his sadness is like a fever that shows up in his eyes and his mouth. I feel bad about lying, and his phone buzzes. I'm sorry, he says, but I have to check it. He says he has to step out, shit hitting the fan at home. Now that he has broken the doctor-patient dynamic, he can overshare again, and he promises to be back in 5 minutes. He closes the door, and I immediately look at his computer. I wanted inside that computer the first time I stepped into this room. You live in there somewhere, and the temptation to find the sea of love is overwhelming. I would swear that you're calling from inside the hard drive, luring me to your own sea, and I can't help it. I really am like the guy in the video, and this is it, my big chance. I've never been alone in here, and fuck it. I run over to Danny's desk, and I tap the spacebar and dive in. Looking at the screensaver family snapshot of Nicky with his wife and his daughters make me feel guilty. I'm violating our trust, and Nicky's family is so innocent, lined up in front of Nicky's Pizza in Chestertown, New York. There's something pathetic about a grown man forcing his wife and daughters to pose on a rainy day in front of a pizza place just because it's called Nicky's. I feel for the guy, but I want you, and I minimized the Honey Drippers video. He's a good man. He really was looking at it, and I searched the hard drive. Wow. Dr. Nicky doesn't write about my sessions or your sessions or anyone's sessions. He just dictates his thoughts into his iPhone and downloads the MP3 files onto his computer. There's a folder called G. Beck with a bunch of audio files. I get that Van Morrison feeling that Nicky was talking about. I send myself the folder. I delete the email in his sent folder. I empty the trash. I made it. But I didn't. It's over. I fucked up. Nicky's back with a disappointed smile, and he sighs. Danny, I'm so sorry. This is my fault. I tell you the video's here, and I leave. I'm losing it, Danny. I breathe. I made it after all. No, you're not, Doc, I say, and I mean it. He looks weak, and his voice is unsteady. How about that referral? I take the referral and shake his hand and leave. I am sad for Nicky, but nothing can touch my excitement over the files G. Beck. In the elevator, I do something I never do. I pray for Nicky to find someone who can give him that Van Morrison feeling so that his bleached teeth won't seem so laughably out of place on his drawn, sad face. The elevator dumps me in the lobby, and Danny Fox is dead. When I step outside, I stumble, a fucking crack in the sidewalk. There's a black hole in my mind. Am I nuts? I could just keep eating Karen's eggs and Karen's pussy. I could start over with Nicky's referral and try to live life without you. I could. But the truth is, cats bore me. I'd rather listen to tapes of Nicky talking about you than have intercourse with Karen Minty. And if Van Morrison's not crazy, then neither am I. Dear Joe, you are not a cat person. You want a mouse. Love, Joe. Chapter 38. I have to buy headphones at a fucking deli because I have to know now that Nicky has said about you and the guy takes forever. And why do so many morons go into customer service? And I grab the headphones and mutter, thanks, asshole. And I'm out of there. And I tear into the package and it's sealed too tight. And I scream. And a few people on the street back away from me like I'm the Hulk busting out of his dress shirt. And I duck into the alley and take the time to crack the plastic and get the headphones out and throw away the instructions. And I can't get them into my phone fast enough. And I run down the stairs and swipe my MetroCard. And I play on the first MP3 as I step onto the train and sit down across from a blind black guy who smiles for no reason. Okay. Day 1. Beck. Female. Early to mid-20s. Hypersexualized. Boundary issues. Father issues. Claims to be here to resolve her issues with men, but doesn't seem to realize that I have a ring on my finger. Only mode of communication is seduction. Repeatedly crosses her legs and wears a flimsy shirt without a bra. Attention seeking. Directly asks about transference, severe narcissistic disorder. Insists on calling me Dr. Nicky in spite of my repeated statements that I am not an MD. Repeatedly asks if I'm married and if I have a good sex life with my wife to avoid discussing her own life. Tells me she slept with her therapist in college. Repeatedly. I ask why she doesn't see a female clinician and she says she has one mother, doesn't need another. Possible... Sorry. OBS decided to take a shit, but it's done now. The blind black guy is staring at me, but he's blind and he can't see me, and I can't get mad at him, and I skip ahead to another segment. Maybe the next one will be better. It has to be. Marsha was a fucking nightmare this morning. Mac overslept again, and Amy has the flu, and Marsha is just incompetent as a mother. I almost canceled, but I found myself soothed by knowing that I would see Beck. I'm going to look forward to my time with this young woman. I find myself counting down, thinking about what I'll wear that day. She makes my life bearable, damn it. Now who's asking about transference? Today she presents in sweatpants and a formless top with messy hair and shiny skin. I can't help but feel that she dressed down for me, which is more intimate than dressing up for me. We establish goals. She wants sexual confidence, which I find amusing because she is sex. I hit pause, and I want the black man to stop smiling. I want the world to stop smiling. I fast forward. I hit play. She claims that I've opened her up and that she's taken a much-needed break from men. That she realized things about her father, things about her love life, and all of this after just a few sessions because I'm the most amazing doctor she has ever had. I tell her again I'm not a doctor. Is it terrible that I love it when she calls me Dr. Nicky? Don't answer that. Ugh. Anyway, I tell her that there is no magic cure. She shakes me off. She says I have lit up something inside of her. She says she has never felt so in tune with herself. She says talking to me is the time of her life. She's presenting more sexually, in knee socks and skirts. I think she knows I'm falling for her. And my God, I think she's falling for me. I think about her too much, and sometimes I worry that she knows. I should stop therapy, but I can't. I'm so tired of Marsha and the broken washing machine, and Beck is a reprieve. I hit pause. I look around. I wish there was someone I could punch in the face. I could never punch a blind man, and I press play. I know I should give her a referral and send her on her way. I hit pause again because I'm going deaf from anger. He had no problem giving me a referral. It's fine to kick Danny Fox to the curb, but you get to stay. I press play. Her journaling is productive. She's receptive to my suggestion that she needs to be in a relationship in order to address her issues. She repeatedly tells me that we have a connection. And I don't encourage her, but this connection is all I can think about. How come I am so willing to accept failure in my work, yet I'm not willing to accept it when a very intelligent patient calls me a genius? Maybe I did cure her in a matter of weeks. Has my self-esteem tumbled to the extent that I no longer think that's possible just because I bought the wrong washing machine? He loves you, and he's after you, and the blind man is smiling, now standing, poking around, and we're all hunters. We are. And I skip ahead. I tell Diane that I'm starting to have dreams about Beck. And of course, Diane tells me to stop treatment. That's what a good therapist would say, and Diane is a good therapist. But I can't. Beck is opening up to me, and she trusts me enough to tell me about the green pillow she uses to masturbate. To masturbate! The backstory is revelatory. Her father left. He then asked her mother to mail him his green neck pillow. Her passive mother agreed, but Beck had already stolen the pillow. In my fantasy, we are in my office and she comes over to me and asks to sit in my lap. I say no, but she will not be stopped. She straddles me. I fantasize about her all the time now, and the bad washing machine is actually good because there's a lock in the laundry room and I can jerk off in there and think about Beck without getting caught. In my mind, when I'm inside of her, she calls me a rock star and a cock star, and I haven't felt this alive in years. Staying with Marcia feels more like a betrayal, like I'm cheating on Beck even though nothing is happening. Every day, I am more detached from my family. The truth is ugly. I would rather have Beck. At some point during that recording, the blind man exited the train. I missed my stop, and the headphones jammed my ears, pieces of dime store junk, and I yanked them out of my phone and hurled them at the window across from me. People are looking at me, and people can fuck off. The train lurches to a stop, and I'm the first one out the door. I can't get angrier than I am right now. I feel like a sucker, and I want to tear my own head off because I can't believe that I fell for his bullshit. I can't believe I told him things I never tell anyone. I round the corner and see Karen fucking Minty sitting on my fucking stoop with a picnic basket, and cats are supposed to be smarter than this, colder than this. Surprise, she says. I made a picnic. And can you believe that Karen still exists? I want to go inside and throw typewriters at the walls until they cave in and the mice are collateral damage, falling to death, screaming, and Karen Minty, my girlfriend, has to be here with an actual picnic basket. I've never seen one in real life, only in cartoons, in books, and I don't want to go on a picnic. I smell garlic and rosemary and the Noxeman that Karen has rubbed all over her tight, pointy face since she was a kid. It's over. If she knew what a sucker I am, if she knew that I paid a married dickwad to try and fuck the love of my life, she wouldn't want to take me on a picnic. I need her to go away. This has nothing to do with her. This is Nicky's fault, and I tell her I'm not hungry. She is hungry, and she reaches and I pull away. Joe, what the fuck? I'm not Joe. I'm Dan Fox, and I am loud. Jesus Christ, Karen! Can you take a fucking hint? And that's it. She's on her feet, shivering. Fuck you. That's intelligent. Fuck you and your intelligence, she snarls. You think I'm some doormat piece of shit chick that you can bang and fuck as you please? You think I'm some fucking ragdoll? Yes, I say, not missing a beat. That's exactly what you are. And it's true. I'm wrong about everyone. You are a whore, and Nicky is a prick. And sweet Karen, the cum dumpster, is boiling over with repressed rage. Or is that sadness? She's quivering, and the basket is making her forearm tremble, and I'm a fucking asshole, and she's a phlebotomist who loves me, and if Nicky wasn't in love with you, then none of this would be happening. But does he want you? And that chicken smells delicious, and I am a fool. Sit down, says Karen Minty, and I let her help me onto the stoop. How could Nicky do this to Karen? She's a hard worker. The basket is full. She has a heart. Last month, she lugged a vacuum cleaner all the way here to my place. She vacuumed beneath the sofa. She wore tiny little horse shorts and half shirt, and she found dirty places I didn't know existed. You don't want to get mice, she said. Otherwise, I won't want to come here anymore. Nobody ever made a vacuum cleaner into a dozen roses, a beating heart. And like everything bad, this too is Nicky's fault. He's the one who told me to get a cat. Karen would stay with me forever and pump out kids when I want kids and work doubles so we can go to Florida once a year. And I have all this here in a picnic basket, and that rosemary smells like heaven. But the thing is, she's never heard of Paula Fox or Magnolia or tried to bang her married shrink. She's not different, hot like us. She follows the rules. She doesn't dare touch the hole in my wall because that's for the super to fix. She respects boundaries, and fuck Nicky for wasting her time and breaking her heart. Why are you mad at me? She is quivering. I thought you'd think it was cool, a picnic. It's gorgeous out. Karen. Oh, fuck, she says, and she knows I'm dumping her. She leaps off the stoop and she's running, crying, gone. I will never see her again. and I take the picnic basket upstairs and spread it all out in my minty fresh apartment. I gorge on chicken breasts and roasted potatoes and cauliflower and cream sauce and wine right out of the bottle. I eat like it's the Last Supper because it is. I buried Dan Fox today, and now I have to take care of Nicky. There's no way around it, Beck. I listened to his recordings all night long. He's taken advantage of you in the safest place in the world. He's in your head, a mouse in your house, and he's clearly tricked you into thinking that you love him. We can't get together with him controlling your thoughts. Dr. Nicky, a greedy, married pig. And he was wrong about me. I don't have a mouse in my house. I have a fucking pig. Chapter 39. I don't remember the last time I was this close to a school. A lot's changed. PS 87 on 78th Street has a slogan, for fuck's sake. One family under the sun. I spent the early morning on the steps of the American Museum of Natural History drinking coffee and learning about Nicky and waiting for the families to get out of bed and under the sun already. The journey to the school was shockingly easy, thanks largely to Nicky's sister-in-law, Jackie. I found her on the Yelp page for Nicky's Pizza, where she has contributed countless photographs of our extended family gorging on our favorite za. Jackie's Yelp account led me to Jackie's bountiful Facebook page, which features numerous check-ins at the cabins upstate, at Nicky's Pizza, duh, and, most important, to PS 87, best school in the city, best Facebook page in the world. Really, I should sign into Yelp just to endorse her foamy pantsing restaurant reviews. I owe her. I know everything about Nicky. So I'm dressed up like a runner today, because if there's anywhere in the world you can't chill out undisturbed, it's a school. I'm fucking out of shape as all get out. I haven't run since Peach. I've been running in circles, jogging, really, since 4:30 in the morning, listening to Nicky's fucking perv diaries to keep me focused. I go down Columbus, bang a right onto 77, past the empty playground, turn right up Amsterdam, and then right onto 78th, past PS 87, and do it again. One moment, I need to help my dog really quick. Honey, what do you need? Where are you going? What do you need, honey? Are you trying to go somewhere? You want to go down? Okay, come on. You want water? Water? Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you for waiting. Hopefully Coco will chill out for a bit. Won't interrupt us for a little bit. No promises. We all know how she is. It's not her fault. She's blind. She needs a lot of help. Okay. I think I'm up to... Aha. I've made it I don't know how many laps when it all pays off. Because I see Nicky walking down the street. Hey, Icon. He looks different to me now. I used to feel sorry for him the way he was so hunched over, his eyes hell-bent on the floor. But now he just looks evil. His hunchback is a punishment for his sins. You. A father should be looking out for his daughters, but Nicky hangs his head. It's good, Icon, just continuing the book for now. His daughters are older now, and that picture on his computer must have been taken a while ago. He's holding Amy's hand. Amy's the one they had instead of getting divorced. And calling out for Mac to slow down. Mac's the one they had to seal the deal. Older. Detached. It's okay for me to jog in place because I'm wearing sunglasses and headphones, and if there's one dude that everyone on the Upper West Side will welcome with open arms, it's the fucking jogger. Nicky walks these kids into the school. And what happened to the city that parents are fucking inside of the school with the kids? Nobody held my fucking hand, or anybody else's for that matter back in the day. And a mother glares at me, and I wave and smile. I normal up and good. And she waves, assuming she forgot my name and knows me from the PTA, or the gym, or what have you. And come on, Nicky, get out of there. Because jogging in place is not like jogging in circles, and we've got work to do, me and Nicky. And we don't have much time because you are supposed to see Nicky tomorrow afternoon at 1. And I've decided that that's not going to happen. Nicky is living proof that idle hands are the horny, cheating devil's playground. The guy's so leisurely, Beck. After he dropped his girls at school, he took the long way home and talked on the phone to you and then disappeared into his building. I didn't see anyone buzz his place, so it's not like he was seeing patients. He and his wife came out 3 hours later squawking over the washing machine. This is why marriage scares me. They've been talking about that malfunctioning machine for months. And I stay with them on their walk. If Nicky had balls, he would leave her, but he doesn't. And I'm not mad at you for falling for him. I don't blame you. The more I listen to the tapes, the more I see Nicky for what he is. A very talented, very sick manipulator. I didn't see through his bullshit, so I can't very well blame you for falling under his spell. And if you think about it, it's kind of sweet that we both got swindled. We're alike. I smile. Nicky's wife, Marcia, is nothing like you. She's boorish and loud. She teaches psychology at various local and online colleges. She's a thick-legged martyr with a yoga mat over his shoulder. I hate to sound crass, but yoga is not doing the trick. She's wearing a Stop Breast Cancer visor. You know this woman is always bellyaching about something. And her hair is tied back in a low, sad ponytail. This is not a happy woman, Beck. She's gruff. She crosses her arms when they pass by homeless people, as if the homeless people would ever even try with her. I could feel sorry for Nicky, but the facts are facts. At some point in his life, he proposed to Marcia. Watching him trot alongside Marcia is depressing. She does all the talking about birthday parties and pediatricians and kiddie yoga classes as if the kids don't stretch out on their own. There are vitamins to be bought and babysitters to be fired, and poor Nicky is hunched over more with every block. When I do finally kill him, I will be putting him out of his misery. You don't want him, Beck. Life does not suit him. All that power he has in the beige room with the records on the wall disappears when he exits his playroom. He wants to cross, but his wife yanks his arm. She snaps, "Green light." They cross when it's safe, LOL, and they enter a nondescript townhouse. I Google the address, and naturally, they're here for couples therapy. 52 minutes later, they emerge deflated. They walk in silence to a gym, and they hug, family style, before she disappears into a refuge of yoga and like-minded women. I follow Nicky down the street, and he's hunched every block. He arrives at his destination, Westsider Books, and he emerges an hour later standing up straight with 3 new used records. And no books. Tisk tisk. I follow him until we reach Urban Outfitters, and he goes in with his bag of records and looks at all the clothes and tries on t-shirts and Shazams, one song after another, and finally he leaves without buying a thing. Now it's off to school, where he picks up his daughters and walks them back home. The young one is happy and talking, and the old one is morose and not talking, and people have to be careful or they wind up with lives they didn't want. It's lucky we found each other when we did, you and me. I hang out by his building like I'm waiting for a running buddy. Here comes Marcia with a friend whose taste in clothing is equally drab. Marcia sighs, and it's clear to me that she sighs a lot. He said that he would sooner kill himself than leave his children. And what did you say? I said I think that all children do better with happy parents than married parents. I said there's no stigma about divorce anymore. The friend nods in agreement, and her ring sparkles. Marcia goes on. And then he said it's easy for me to be cavalier about divorce because my parents were happily married. But you know Nicky the martyr. His children will never deal with the divorce. One sec, I need to check on the dog again. I'm sorry. The friend sighs. Women sigh. A lot. She lightens. Maybe you should start a profile for him on Match. The ladies share a laugh, and the friend says she was only kidding. There are no easy answers, and they make plans to get their families together because that sounds like fun. And Marcia plods up to the home she doesn't want, to the man she doesn't love. Now I know why Nicky became a shrink, for real. He needed someone to talk to because he married the wrong woman. He knew he was giving up on his music, but he didn't know he was giving up on love. I'm starting to feel sorry for him again because I'm a pushover. I duck into the subway and watch a couple of nurses bitch about work. I think of my nurse, Karen, and how miserable she must be right now. I can't tell you what a relief it is to arrive back in my hood. Killing Nicky is going to be difficult, but it's necessary. You're obsessed with him. He's a mouse in your house, and because of my current thought process, I almost freak out when I see a cop on my stoop. He blocks the front door, and he is a giant, and my brain freezes up on me. Benji, Peach, Candace, mug of urine, and it's me he's looking for. Like Ethan says, when you know, you know. This giant cop has his nightstick out, and he's not fucking around. Is that you, Joe? It takes everything I have left in me to walk toward this man when all I want to do is run. Get over here, he says. The sad thing about being poor is that the few little hood kids running around don't even react. This is just another day. Can I help you? I say, because I am innocent. I am. I wish I were Dan Fox, but he's no good either, not anymore. Yeah, you can help me, he says as I walk up the steps. I stand directly across from him now. His pores are enormous, and his forearms are bigger than mine, and his neck is veiny, and I bet his dad was a cop and his granddad too. You can tell me who the fuck you think you are. I say, and might piss my pants. What is this about? He mocks me. What is this about? It happens so fast. He grabs me by the collar and yanks me close. His breath is made of onions, raw onions. He seethes. You little fuck. Am I going to die? I close my eyes and he tightens his grip on my shirt. I'm innocent. Innocent until proven guilty. He spits at me, and then he lets me go. I don't wipe my face, and I take a step back. He slams his stick into the cement. You know, you better respect this uniform, kid. Because if I wasn't in this uniform, I'd kick your ass and throw your bones in the dumpster over there and see to it that nobody finds you. I'm sorry, I stammer, and he probably hates me more for my yuppie running clothes, and he shakes his head. You know, my sister? He's blubbering, crackling, and now I recognize his cadence. It's Minty. My sister Karen is a fucking saint, you prick. She's as beautiful inside as she is outside, and you little pansy, you got no right. Sister, and I can breathe again, and I'm begging for his forgiveness and telling him she was too good for me and he doesn't buy it. I shut up. You don't fuck over Karen Lee's Minty. He raises a stick and I cower, and I don't want to die. I can't leave you like this. He slams the stick into the concrete by my feet. Stand up, you fucking pussy. He grabs me by the throat. And this, too, is on Nicky. He's the one who pushed me on Karen and then made me push her away. The giant Minty cop clenches my throat, lets go, and smashes the concrete one last time with his stick. He storms away, and no wonder Karen Minty wants to be a phlebotomist. Her brother's got a good stick. Why shouldn't she have one, too? Chapter 40. Taking care of Nicky is going to be easier than I thought. He's a do-gooder, Beck, and once a week he takes the train out to the part of Queens that's still all about crack and crime to counsel druggies who are trying to get sober. But tonight, he's going to become a cautionary tale for all the UWS assholes who think they can atone for their sins with 4 hours a week. Tonight, Nicky, not a doctor except to you, will be mugged by drug addicts. I take a swig of Jack and open the front page of a self-help book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Nicky Angevine's friends will give his wife that book when he's found dead in Queens. Nicky's death will be looked up on as a tragedy. His daughters will grow up without a father until his wife bangs a replacement, which will probably happen in a matter of weeks, and then there will be a simple, perverse beauty to his demise. No suspects, no confusion, no malfeasance. A straight-up mugging, wallet gone, the guy was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Marcia and Javine's friends will hover around her with coffee cakes and their own kids and bottles of wine and tell her how sorry they are for her loss. But I know that she'll be thanking the Lord for her gain. It's time, Beck. Nicky emerges from the sober house and looks both ways like a good little white boy. He hangs his head and starts down the street, and his wife must have laundered his Vans because they're especially bright and white tonight. He's a mouse in your house, and I wish you didn't want him. But of course you do, Beck. He's like the father you never had, and you want to break up his family. And that's natural. That's the cycle of abuse, and it was Nicky's job to help you overcome that desire. But Nicky didn't do his job. He is a pig, and there's no possible happy ending to this mess. If I let him live, you will eventually get what you think you want. He will fuck you in the beige room and cry to his wife and beg for a divorce, and he will go to you because he's right. You are sex. And the truth is, the second he becomes available, no ring, no more teeth whitening, you won't want him. He's leading you down the path to hell, and he was supposed to keep his distance from you, and he didn't. And you were supposed to call me. You miss me, and you didn't. And I know you so well, Beck. You are charisma, you are sick, and for some reason, you are a magnet for weak, spineless people like Peach, like Benji, like Nicky. I pick up my pace and I hold my new nightstick. I went to the Army-Navy store to cool off after that bullshit with Officer Minty. It's only fair that we all be armed against cops who think they're above the law. I clench my jaw. I'm gaining on him, and I can do this. One fell swoop. But then I feel a vibration in my pocket. I have no choice but to duck into an alley. Nicky will turn around if he hears the phone, and I can't make it stop, and I can't breathe, and my hands shake, and I look at my phone. It's you. You are calling me. You have, at last, decided to act on your feelings. Your name looks beautiful in my phone, shining in the dark above the picture of you in your white bikini. I stare at you, aglow. I smile. I too glow. You surprise me, you delight me, and you miss me. I try to make my heart slow down, and Dr. Nicky is already blocks away, and I bring the phone to my head and I speak. Well, hello, Beck. Joe, you say, soft as your skin. Can you hear me? I lose my voice and cough. I'm not myself because I was just about to kill Nicky with a nightstick because he was trying to have sex with you. I'm dizzy, and you sound tipsy when you speak again. Joe, can you hear me? Bat signal, I say. I'm waiting for the train. Forward as a dictator, you make your demand. I need to come over. Can you come over? Can you come over right now? I've never been so sure of anything in my life, and I answer strongly, yes. I hit end, and I can't believe your timing. I need a minute to get my head right. You called. I ditched the nightstick in a trash heap. My hand is still sore from gripping it, and my heart hurts from the whiplash. You called. You're back. I'm calmer now, and I'm walking, and it will be nice to get out of here and get to you. You called, and I can't help but believe that for all of Nicky's idiocy, he might be good at what he does after all. Clearly, you're in a better place now. You called me, not him. I hop in a cab because I'm too happy to get on the subway. I wonder what you're wearing, and I can't get to you fast enough. I leave when bad things happen to good people in the back seat of the cab. I don't need it anymore. I have you. Chapter 41. Our IKEA pillow is still tagged and it's underneath your table on the floor. I hold you in my arms and you cry. You're drunk and I don't ask any questions. I will not let you and your pillow get me down. Besides, you feel as good as I remember. Better. Your place is a mess, which makes me believe you really have been growing. There are curtains now, that's progress, and you're almost out of tears. I stroke your head and stare at our pillow and breathe you in, your scent, your apples rotting on the counter. I can't stop smiling, and the harder you cry, the broader I grin, and finally, you have nothing left and you stop. You whisper, sorry. Oh, it's okay, I say. I can send you a dry cleaning bill. If you were Karen Minty, you'd laugh too hard, but you're you and all you do is smile. I don't remember the last time I laughed. Just about 2 seconds ago, Beck. You stretch your arms above your head and twist to the left, to the right, and then your arms flop and you look at me. You must think I'm nuts. Not at all, I say, and I don't. Oh, come on, Joe. I see you, and we get together, and then I just disappear off the radar. I make a joke. Actually, I think I was in the south of France on a top-secret mission for the FBI. You don't laugh, and you're not in the mood for dumb jokes, and I love you for being so honest, so present. And all the hard work was worth it because all of it was leading up to this moment. You speak. I kind of do wish you were in the FBI. Seriously? I say, and I don't like where this is going. You quiver. I don't. Peach is dead, Joe. And you sound exasperated, and this isn't supposed to happen. Peach is in Turks and Caicos, damn it. Are you kidding? They found her body in Rhode Island. No. Yes, you say. No. Impossible. I put a ton of rocks in her pockets. When I walked her onto that jetty, she must have been $150. This is bullshit. I did my job. Did I zip her pockets? Fuck yes, I zipped her pockets. Nothing is made well anymore. The zippers were plastic now that I think about it. They probably disintegrated. Fuck those zippers. I just can't believe it, you say. There's so many horrible things you could say right now. And what if you led me here under false pretenses? And what if the FBI is here, spying? Rhode Island? Yep, you say. Rhode Island. I talked to too many people in that state. I was sloppy and friendly. And there's Officer Nico and Dr. K and all those junkies and the guy at the garage. What if they all got together? What if they know? The mug of piss flashes through my mind's eye, and what have I done? Her family has a place there, you say. We were there, and I thought she took off. I mean, she sent me a melodramatic email, but that's Peach. I didn't think she was, serious. Jesus, I say. And would you visit me in prison, or would you be afraid? I figured she took off because she does that sometimes. You pick up your bottle of Diet Root Beer and you take a swig, and I wish you would just keep going. And for the past few months, I haven't heard from her. But, you know, those old friends that you can go ages without talking to, and then you talk and everything's fine? Hang on. You bury your head in your phone, and I don't know what you mean, because if I go more than a month without seeing Mr. Mooney, it's super awkward. But how can I think about Mr. fucking Mooney right now? Are you wearing a wire, Beck? Are you trying to get me to confess? Is that why you got curtains? I look at my watch. 10:47. Sorry, you say. It was just school stuff. Anyway, where was I? She disappeared. She didn't disappear. She committed suicide. Oh, Jesus. Praise Jesus. I know, you say, and you finish your root beer. How did I not see it? You're heading to the kitchen, getting the vodka out of the freezer, the glasses out of the sink. Karen Minty doesn't leave glasses in the sink, but Karen Minty doesn't have the capacity to cry like you do. And you're going to tell me a story, and Karen Minty can't tell a story. I don't know where to begin. At the beginning. You sit down next to me, and we won't kiss for a long time, but God, did I miss the nearness of you, the anticipation of your words, your voice. So we were in Little Compton, and it's this beach community in Rhode Island. She was pretty depressed, but me too. Remember that guy Benji, my druggy ex? I think so. Well, he died. I mean, that was always possible because he's crazy, but still, you say, and you bite your lower lip. You are pretty. He dies, and then she dies. I'm death girl. I love you for making this all about you, for giving yourself a name. You are so flagrantly you. I tell you what you want to hear. Beck, you're not death girl. It just sounds like you know some troubled people. You cut me off. That's 2 of my friends dead in a matter of months. And you know what I think, Joe? I think this is the universe punishing me for being a fucking liar. I lie and say my dad is dead, and now my friends are dying. I mean, obviously that's what's happening. Let it out, I say. Because I know when you're drunk, there's no point in arguing the benefits of life without Peach and Benji. But it's not your fault. You huff. Like hell it isn't. So talk to me, I say. I'm here. It's fun to watch you try and decide whether to tell me about the massage session with Peach, and you decide against it. Peach left to go running, which she did every morning. But apparently this time she filled her pockets with rocks. And it is my fault, Joe. I was the last one to see her alive. I should have known. I was the last one to see her alive, but never mind that. Beck, I say. You can't blame yourself for what she did. She was depressed. You knew that. You were a damn good friend, and this has nothing to do with you. You motion for me to stop talking, and I pour vodka into the dirty glasses, and you dig around for your phone. We just fallen into the sofa, with a lot of other junk, and you scroll and find the email that Peach wrote to you, the one that I wrote. I know I'm not a suspect anymore, and I can't help but think that it's kind of hot, hearing my words come out of your mouth. You finish reading and look at me. Virginia Woolf. I should have known, and I did nothing. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. But she did want to be saved, you say, and you pull your hair up into a high bun. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do what? You gulp, and I remember you naked, and I want my turn and take a hefty sip. This has to stay right here for obvious reasons, but you have to know. She tried to fuck me, Joe. Oh, man. Yes. You're opening up, petal by petal. It's happening. I pushed her off, of course, right away, you say, and again, you can't resist lying, from stealing a little cash from the Monopoly board when the other players are out of the room. You are a cheater to the bone, a renovator, and I admire you, Beck. You never stop making improvements on life. You have charisma. You have vision. Someday, maybe we'll have some beat-up farmhouse and you'll paint the walls until you find the right shade of yellow. And I'll tease you, but I'll love the way you look with paint on your face. This is where you do your real art. And this is where your magic happens. You need an audience, alive, me, not a shrink, not a computer. 1 second, dog. How'd she take it? Not well. Fuck, I say. And the saddest thing is, it's not the first time this happened. Fuck. You take a sip and you're too embarrassed to look at me. Or maybe you're just too drunk. Are you horrified? Beck, I say, and I rest my hand on your knee. I'm not horrified that your best friend was in love with you. I don't blame her. You come at me hard and whole, sloppy and groping. You tear your top off and your hot hands are underneath my shirt marked by your tears. And your kiss is wet and hungry and you bite my lip and there's blood, a sweetness, a saltiness, a touch. You have my belt off in no time. A professional under the influence. This time when I fuck you, I am the mouse in your house and you can't get rid of me. And you want to get rid of me because you hate how much you want me, how I own you when I'm inside you, how you'll never want anything but me. Nicky who? And at some point your emotions all turn into one. Your tears for Peach, your cunt throbbing for me, your tits humming because of me. All of you exist solely because of me, and I fuck the Peach out of you. I fuck the Benji out of you, and the Nicky out of you. And I'm the only man in the world, and this time I wake up first. I go into your bathroom, into your tub, and I piss all over the floor of the shower and mark my place, my home, you. I take the IKEA pillow out from under the table and rip off the tag and bring it back to bed. You're half asleep when I slip the pillow under your chin and you purr, Joe. When we get out of bed, we know that we're together now. It's not about whether we'll go out to breakfast, it's just a matter of deciding where to go. We sit across from each other at a diner, and we're there 6 hours because we can't get enough of each other. I finally manage to pull myself away and take a leak, and when I'm gone, you email Lynn and Shayna. Holy fuck. Joe. When I get back to the table, we start all over again. Chapter 42. Our first 8 days together are the best days of my life. You have these plush giant robes from the Ritz-Carlton. You tell me this elaborate story about stealing them while on spring break with Lynn and Shayna. I love that you love to tell stories. You couldn't possibly know that you stole them from Peach's place, and I don't tell. We live in these robes and you like to entertain me, and you do. Day 2 of us, we're lounging around in our robes, and you declare the rule of the robes. When you're in my apartment, you are allowed to be naked or in a robe. And what if I don't comply with the rule of the robes? You saunter up to me and growl, You don't want to know, Buster. I promise to abide by the rule, and I like you all charged up, adult. Your therapy worked because your daddy issues are gone, and with me, you're a woman, not a little girl. You're not sending emails to yourself anymore, and why would you? You have me to talk to, and oh, do we talk. Van Morrison doesn't know shit about love because you and I are inventing love in our Ritz-Carlton robes with our all-night conversations, with our moments of silence that are, as you say, the opposite of awkward. We're living on each other and we don't need sleep, and by day 5 we have more private jokes than Ethan and Blythe do. We watch Pitch Perfect on Netflix. You call it your favorite movie, but you don't own the DVD. You are fascinating. And you press pause. You curl up into me and tell me I'm the best, and I tease you about loving this movie, and you giggle and snort, and we wrestle, and by the time they go to their championship, or whatever, we're in bed fucking. You love me more than anything, and you tell me I'm smarter than the guys in your grad program, and the guys you knew in college, and we read one of Blythe's stories together, and I call it solipsistic, and you agree. The next morning I wake up first. Who can sleep with you in the world? And I noticed that you were up earlier. You're like a child in the best way, and you leave a trail of breadcrumbs wherever you go, and your trail leads me to the kitchen, with the dictionaries open, and the word solipsistic is smeared with chocolate icing from the half-eaten chocolate cake on the counter. I love you for listening, unabashedly. You don't want me to leave, but I have to go to work. But I want you to stay, you argue, and even your aggression is sweet. Can't Ethan cover? I hate to break it to you, Beck, but you should have thought of this when you were fixing him up with Blythe. You groan and you block the door and you let your robe fall open. You're breaking the rule of the robe, Joe. Fuck, I say, and you maul me, and eventually I do leave, and the day goes by so slowly, and we text so much my thumbs are falling off. I want to bring you all the books in the world, but I settle on one of my favorites that you've never read, In the Lake of the Woods by Tim O'Brien. You let me into your place, and you take it with tender hands, and you kiss me with your sweet, soft Guineverean lips. I knew I was wanting to read this book for a reason, you say. It's like I knew someday there'd be someone who gave it to me or something. Well, I'm glad you waited. On day 7, we invent a game, Fake Scrabble. The rule is no real words allowed. You come up with the calibrat, and I spell out punk classical, and you beat me and you brag, and I love you all hopped up on the win. You love to win, and I'm not a sore loser, and will be as good in 40 years as we are now. On day 9, I catch you using my toothbrush, and you blush. At first, you rinse your mouth and claim it was a mistake, but I see through you, and I know your eyes, and you bite your lip and cover your eyes. I'm just gonna say this, and I can't look at you when I say this. Thank you for the resub, cowboy. I like using your toothbrush because I like having you inside of me, and I'm sorry, I know that's weird and gross. I don't say a word. I clap a hand over your hand and pull your panties off and give it to you right there in my bathroom. On day 10, you tell me that you've never felt less single in your life. On day 11, I tell you that I found myself singing a song from Pitch Perfect in the shop and didn't even stop when people started laughing. You're inside of me, I say, and like that, you're on your knees, hungry. On day 14, I realize that I've lost track of time because I'm not sure if it's day 14 or day 15, and you squeeze my hand as we walk down the street. That's because every day is the only day, you say. I've never been so present in my life. I kiss the top of your head, and you're my articulate little bunny. I never lose track of time, Beck. I think I might be into you. On day 17, it rains, and we're in our robes in your bed, and you highlight your favorite parts of In the Lake of the Woods and read them to me. When I go to work, I barely get anything done, because you can't leave me alone for 5 minutes without texting. Sometimes you want to talk about nothing. Did you ever notice that the fingers on my right hand are crooked? Yep. You can tell I'm getting a lot done over here. Anyway, how's work? And sometimes there are no words, just pictures, intense close-ups of my favorite places on your body, of which there are so many. You never make me wonder, and you write back to me while I'm writing back to you, and we never run out of things to say. Thank you for the lurk, Mabio. Nobody's ever known me this well. Nobody has ever cared. When I tell you a story, you have questions. You are rapt. How old were you? Oh, come on. I won't get jealous if you tell me about your first time. Joe, please. Tell me. And I tell you. Ethan says the first few days of any relationship are intense. But Ethan doesn't understand that this is not a relationship. You say it's an everything ship. And what do I do with that adorable word after you come up with it? I buy a box of cake mix and a disposable silver pan and a can of frosting and 3 tubes of icing. I bake a cake for you and I write on top of it, everything ship, noun, a meeting of the minds, bodies, and souls. And I carry that cake down the block and down into the subway and on the subway and up the stairs and up the street and up to your door, and you squeal and you take about 1,000,000 pictures of the cake, and then we get into bed and eat the cake and have sex and watch old home movies of your family in Nantucket and eat more cake and have more sex, and this is the only everything ship I've ever had. I'm on the ladder at work and Ethan is passing me unpopular books to hide in the high shelves, and he says I can't expect for it to stay this good, and I'm quick to respond, confident, bold. I know it's not going to stay this good. Phew, he says. It's only going to get better. He goes to help a customer, and the what-ifs crawl into my ear, right out of Shel Silverstein in poetry. I text you, hi, and I tremble and sweat. What if Ethan is right? What if you don't write back? What if you don't miss me anymore? But you text me immediately. I love you. I could fall off the ladder and crap open my skull, and it wouldn't matter. Like Elliot says in Hannah, I have my answer. My answer is you. Good night, Cynthia. Thank you for the lurk. Chapter 43. It's a good thing that I took a screenshot of your I love you text. Something changes after that night, and it's like I'm standing so close to a pointillism painting that I only see the dots, not the picture. You are still my girlfriend, you are. But you don't email me back right away, which would be fine if you weren't making excuses. Sorry, I was in class. Sorry, I was on the phone with Chaina. Sorry, do you hate me? I try every kind of response. No worries, B. Did you want to get dinner? No sorries allowed, unless of course you're not wearing your robe. Hate you? B. I love you. But no response is the right response, because as soon as I hit send, the wait begins again. My thoughts turn dark, and my mind wanders into Nicky's beige den of rock and roll and lust. But you're not seeing him. Well, were that the case, you tell someone or write to him and you don't. I still have your old phone, and I still check your email and your Facebook. You love me. And one of these days I'll find a way to get you to admit that your mother still foots the bill for a phone you lost months ago. We're getting there. But I love you so much that I can't willfully close down my portal to your communications. One sec, just checking on the dog again. Okay, sorry. When I worry that you're drifting, and I do worry, I hold your phone and will you back. It sounds crazy, but I think it works. We need all the help we can get right now. Relationships get like this, I know that, but I'm allowed to be frustrated. Your word is sorry, and my word is no. And what happened to the time when our word was everything, Ship? Ethan says not to worry. She's nuts about you, Joe. Blythe says she's practically writing pornos in class, you know. Only Ethan would call it porno, and Ethan doesn't have to wonder where he's eating dinner or when. Blythe is in it with him. And since when did that relationship seem stronger than our everything ship? My toothbrush is dry. You're not using it anymore, and I can pinpoint the moment you stopped. When I want to watch Pitch Perfect, you are tired or you just watched part of it on the train. When I want to go out for pizza, you have pizza for lunch. Once upon a time, I knew your lunch at lunchtime. And when I want to have sex, you want to just wait a little while longer. Just let me finish writing this paragraph. I'm so late. So bad, I know. Just give me a few minutes. I ate falafel and I think it was not a good idea. Just wait a little while. I put our robes in the washer at the laundromat and I should go back sooner rather than later. I bring you A River Runs Through It and the things they carried. Because you never knew that both books have more than the title stories. I write inscriptions in each and I don't tell you. 4 days go by and both books are still on the counter. There are no loving chocolate smudges, no highlighted paragraphs, no pages marked. You don't love them. You don't know them. And at times, I feel like an intruder. Me. I was just looking at that picture of that place on your thigh. You. Hang on. Bad signal. Me. It's your thing. I'll catch you later. And then you don't write back to me and I slowly descend into insanity because what the fuck? You're not talking smack about me to Lynn and Shayna. You're not cheating on me. You'd never be able to pull that off with my access to your email. I know. I know that you don't have a lot of work at school and setting Ethan up with Blythe really was a bad idea because he comes into work telling me about the fun they had last night at the golfing range. I shit you not. And I can't even get a response from you when I write to discuss the odd coupling of Ethan and Blythe. It hurts, Beck. I don't know what to do with your absence. You're not mad at me. I know you well enough to know when your tail starts pounding the floor, and you're not happy at me either. I ask you if you want to get into our robes, and you kiss me and tell me we're beyond robes. You wrap yourself in me and hold on to me, but what does that mean exactly? Beyond robes. We still have an everything ship because you still do things. I wake up with my dick in your mouth at least once a week. You still let me know when I'm in your mind for no reason. Solipsistic. Now, thinking of you and your hot bod. And you rave about me when you write to your mother. This is different, Mom. He's on my level, and yet he shouldn't be, technically, because our lives are so different. But when it works, you know? Your mother can't wait to see me, and I close my eyes and see us in Nantucket in love. I even asked you about it one night when you laid up with cramps. So you think this summer we'll hang out in Nantucket? You giggle and I burn. It wasn't supposed to be funny and you feel bad. Joe, baby, no, I wasn't laughing at that. Of course we can go to Nantucket. It's just that you don't say in Nantucket, you say on Nantucket. I can't think of a witty comeback and I used to be so good with you, but maybe Ethan was right. And you asked me to run up to the store and get you Advil, and I do. The curtains are open and I see you open up your computer and start replying to an email. I know that I shouldn't look at your email as much now that we're together, but it's a cold night and a long walk, so I refresh your outbox. Nothing. I look in drafts. Nothing. And that's not possible because I saw you writing an email with my own eyes. I buy the Advil and start home. I decide to confront you, but when I let myself in, you gave me a key a couple of weeks ago, you weren't in the apartment. I call your name, but you're gone, and I panic. But then I hear the water turn on, and I walk into the bathroom, and you're wet hot. Mine. Well, get in here already, you say, and I do. You fuck me like an animal, and we get into our robes, and I don't think about the email, and maybe I was wrong. Maybe you deleted it. We are close that night, and the next day I wake up, and you're already gone, and I text you. Me. That was fantastic. I woke up thinking about you in the shower. You. Good. Me. Let me know when to come over. I have a feeling you're gonna need another one. And then it happens. The most dreaded response in the world. More terse than any word, more withholding than a no, and strictly verboten for someone as in love with language and me as you claim to be. You. K. I get the dreaded K. And I ask Ethan to fill in for me for the rest of the day, but he can't. The day doesn't go by, and I'm losing it. And I'm looking at pictures of you and losing my patience with customers, and I close early and call you, but I get voicemail. And I leave you a message asking when you can come over. I'm home when you finally respond, and as it turns out, there is something worse than the dreaded K. You. Long story, honey, but I gotta bail. Call you tomorrow, XOXO. I cry and watch Pitch Perfect and sing along with the Bart and Bellas. I don't want to be a person who knows the name of a fictional a cappella group in a chick flick, but that's what love has done to me. When it's over, I jerk off in the shower like a lot of unhappily married men in this world. But I cry harder because I'm not even married to you. Yet. Chapter 44. There are only so many times you can tell a person that you're happy for them. I've been happy for Ethan a lot lately, and it's starting to get a little old. Every day he has good news of some kind, and today is no different. You are not gonna believe this, Joe. Try me. Blythe wants to move in together. He beams and I smile. That's great, E. He's gonna miss Murray Hill. He's the only person on Earth who would feel an attachment to Murray fucking Hill, and I say my line, I'm happy for you, kid, and I mean it. But I think your competitive streak is starting to rub off on me, Beck, because suddenly I feel like life is a race. I'm losing to Ethan and Blythe. I wanted life to be like chutes and ladders. I want us to climb a ladder as they slip into a chute. I'm starting to be kind of a dick, and I throw a dart at his balloon. Are you sure you want to move all the way to Carroll Gardens? Blythe doesn't like Murray Hill, he shrugs. It's a no-brainer. I hear you, I say, and I can't help but try and one up. I don't remember the last time I spent the night at my place. It's all West Village all the time. It's a dangerous thing to put out in the universe because naturally you email me a few minutes later. Can we do your place instead of mine tonight? I've had a crazy day. My apartment is a disaster. I tell Ethan I have to go outside. I call you up. You don't answer. You never answer anymore. I pace. I panic. There are pieces of you that I collected along the way, souvenirs to my journey. I call you again. Voicemail. I lean against the glass front, and it hits me. I'm scared for us, Beck. When we move in together, which we will, I'm gonna have to choose between you and the pieces of you currently stored in a box, in the hole in the wall I made because of you. The walls on the building are terrible, surprise, surprise, and the plaster is cracking and the hole is bigger, and I keep meaning to tell the super, but I don't want to tell the super because I want your things in my hole. I'm being a lunatic. You'd have to climb into the wall to get at the box, and no girl in the world would do that. Breathe, Joe. My phone buzzes. I answer. Hi. Joe, listen, I really can't talk because I'm so late. Where are you? Here, you say, and I turn, and then you are, and you smile. I like it when you surprise me at the shop. There's nothing like throwing my arms around you when I least expect it. I reward you with a kiss. You kiss me back, no tongue. You're in school mode. I can't stay. You sure? I got Ethan in there. We can grab coffee. You put your hand out, palm open. Can I grab your keys? This is an everything ship. I shouldn't hesitate, but I do. Joe, think about it. I'm gonna get home before you do. You called my place home, and I gave you my keys. You kiss me. Again, no tongue. Don't you have class soon? Yes, you say, and you hug me, and it's goodbye. See you later. You're gone along with my keys, and Ethan is chuckling when I go back into the shop. Should we flip a coin? What do you mean? Well, Blythe just called and told me about how the girls have the day off from school because of the bomb threat. Yeah, I say, but this is news to me. So should we draw straws? No need, I say. Beck's got a friend in town. Get out of here. Have fun. He's gone and I text you. Hey, you got a second? 10 minutes go by. Still no response. I put up a sign in the window. Back in 10. I go down to the cage. I pace. Why didn't you tell me class was canceled? Why didn't the bomb threat bring us together? I've never been so scared in my life, and I wish Nicky wasn't a bad guy because I could really use a talk right now. I plod up the stairs, broken, uneducated, sad. I tear the sign up the window and unlock the door. Still no response from you, and I'm losing my mind. I slump into the chair at the register, and my head is a bomb that might explode. But that's when she walks to the door. A girl, a customer. Her eyes are giant chestnuts, and she's wearing a SUNY purchased sweatshirt, a short skirt, and knee socks and sneakers. Frisky. I check my phone. Still no response. She waves hello, and I do the right thing and respond. I check my phone. Still no response. I put on some tunes, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. In no time, she's singing along. Somebody said they saw me swinging the world by the tail, bouncing over a white cloud. killing the blues, and I check my phone. Still no response. I lower the volume, and she responds by singing even louder. She's as good as any of the Barden Bellas, if not better. She pokes her head out from behind the stacks, and I hit pause. Was I singing out loud? You're fine. Were you about to close up? She says. Nope. She smiles. Thanks. She disappears and I check my phone. Still no response. I walk around to the other side of the counter so I can get a better look at those legs. And Justin Timberlake's Señorita starts. Fucking Ethan. Fucking shuffle. I scramble to get back behind the counter and change the music. She laughs. Leave it. She crosses the aisle holding a Bukowski and I swallow. I check my phone. Still no response. She approaches the register with a stack of books, as casual as somebody popping into the corner store for milk. I can't check my phone. She's a customer. She deserves my full attention. She sets her novels on the counter. Charles Bukowski is right on top. The captain is out to lunch, and the sailors have taken over the ship. I'm not one of those girls who buys Bukowski, so I can be a girl who buys Bukowski. Do you know what I mean? Oddly, yes, I say, but you can relax. I don't ever judge anyone. Then all my hard work was for nothing, she says. And who's the flirt now? I scan the Bukowski and look at her. Pardon my French, but this is one of the fucking best. She agrees. I lost my copy in a move. I know it's stupid, but I can't sleep or function unless I have that fucking book in my possession, you know? Oddly enough, I do, I say. And since when do I say oddly so fucking much? I lower the volume on Ethan's Dance Party, and I scan Old School by Tobias Wolff. I've never read this book, and I tell her so. She doesn't miss a beat. Well, after I finish, maybe I'll come back and tell you about it. I'll be here, I say. You still haven't touched the things they carried, and she claps as I ring up her final purchase. Great Expectations. The universe has a sense of humor, and I have to share. You should know, there's a Dickens Festival in Port Jefferson every year in December. What goes on at a Dickens Festival? She asks, and her eyes are as open as Karen Minty's pussy. Oh no. I am flirting. I smile. Just what you would expect. Face painting and flutes, costumes and cupcakes. She gets me. She agrees. That's why the terrorists hate us. I am not editing myself. I am blunt. And that's why God made terrorists. Do you think that there's a God? She too is different. Hot. She's decisive. There has to be a God. Only God would create something as awesome as Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I don't even hear good vibrations, and she reaches into her wallet and hands me a Visa covered in puppies. I run the pad of my finger over the elevated plastic letters. You would hate me right now. So your name is John Haviland? Her cheeks turn red. I hope you don't need my ID because I lost it. Misplaced it, I mean. I run the card. She exhales. You rock. I shouldn't care. I have you. But I pry. So what year are you at Purchase? She shakes her head no. I hunt thrift stores and buy random college shirts, she says proud. It's sort of an ongoing social experiment. You know, I see how the world treats me based on what school I'm representing. I tear off the slip and she signs, fast, messy. I've never bagged books so slowly in my life, and I blurt, I'm Joe. She swallows. I'm Amy Adam. Amy Adams. No S. She grabs the bag and flies. Thanks, Joe. Have a good one. I want to run outside and take her home to you. I want you to know that she came on to me, that she talked to me about God. I run to the door, but she's gone. The phone rings. I answer. Is it her? No, it's a bank. They want to know about a recent transaction. The card she used was stolen, apparently. I don't rat her out, but the phone call kills my buzz. That's what I get for flirting. I check my phone. Still, no response from you. And somehow the absence of a response from you is a signed permission slip to be bad. I search the internet for Amy Adam, almost as a dare for you to get back to me. It's virtually impossible to find anything because of the actress, Amy Adams. And Ethan texts me a photo of him and Blythe on Coney Island. I don't respond. I take my time getting home, and I don't need to check my phone for a response from you, because if you were responding to me, your response would interrupt one of my fruitless searches. Amy Adam, New York. Amy Adam, not an actress. Amy Adams sweatshirt. Amy Adam, Facebook. Amy Adam, SUNY purchase. You never know. I walk home and plod up the stairs, and I check my phone. Still no response. I hear something from inside my apartment. You're here. I smell pumpkin wafting from my apartment. You've been baking. I hear singing come from my apartment, and I smile. You know Amy Adam. I love you for being off-key. I was wrong to doubt you, and I knocked twice on the door. There is a response. You cry out for me to wait. You open the door, and wow! This must be your second home, because you brought the robes. You're in yours, naked underneath. And you baked a pie, pumpkin underneath. You tell me I have 25 seconds to get naked or get into my robe. I pick you up, my impish little wonder, and you kiss me. You respond. You are so proud of your spontaneous surprise. You admit that your building was off limits because of roaches and resultant exterminators. You decided to turn a bad thing into a good thing, a surprise. I eat your pie, and I eat your pussy, and when I get up in the middle of the night to brush my teeth, my toothbrush is wet with your saliva. I'm sorry, I say quietly, and I am. Chapter 45. My dad will be home soon, and I'll have to feed him, so I'm gonna step away for a bit when he gets here. I don't know what you put in that pumpkin pie, and you laughed that it was right out of a can. But the pie and the robes did something to us. For us. The next morning, I wake you up with a kiss, and you embrace me. You beam. Remember when I baked you a pie? I remember when I baked you a pie, I say, and you love it when I mimic you. You kiss me and we take our time with each other, and you are full of new ideas from my hands. I love how you're not shy. I love how you tell me what you want. Your imagination should be bottled and stored and studied, and I've never had you like this. You're so upright, and your legs are intertwined with mine. Good God, what a fit. What a fuck, and we collapse. Wow, I say. Yeah, you say. And you roll over to me and ask me if I want leftover pie, and I ask you where you learned to fuck like that. You blush. You're shy. Perfect. You pull a t-shirt over your head, and when you're halfway out the bedroom door, you run back to me and smother me with kisses and touches. I'm the luckiest man in the world, and while you're putting pie in the microwave, I'm erasing my search history on my phone. You'd never snoop in my phone. You respect my privacy and you trust me. But I don't want my phone tarnished with Amy Adam or Amy Adams or any other girl in the world. You sing out from the kitchen. I keep forgetting. I started one of those stories and a river runs through it. And you're reading my books after all. And I like the sound of you in my kitchen so much that I can't wait for you to come back. I get out of bed, naked. I walk into the kitchen and pick you up and set you on the counter and spread your legs, and nothing stops you from extolling the virtues of my tongue, my lips, not the noise from the street, not the hum of the microwave, not the fighting upstairs, not the beep from the microwave. When I have you in my mouth, you are mine and mine alone. You have never come this hard in your life. I know it. I feel it. Something ferocious and far away inside of you has let me in at last. You stroke my ears with your fingers and thank me, and I pull you off the counter and we settle onto the couch with our pie and a river runs through it. You read me a sentence you like and I interrupt you. You want to stay here again tonight? You hesitate, but only for a second, and then you smile. Sure. We shower together behind the yellow police tape, and I wash your hair, and you kiss my chest. We get dressed together, and the future is now, here. Hey, Beck. Hey, Joe. What do you think about moving in here? You smile at me. You stop buttoning your silk blouse and you walk across the room, and the sun follows you, because all plants lean toward the sun, you. You gaze up at me and I kiss you and you whisper, "It's only my first year, Joe. Let me get my MFA, you know? I need that to be my focus." It's not the answer I wanted, but it's good enough for me. We finish getting dressed and go into my kitchen, and if Karen Minty were here, she would know how to make us egg sandwiches, but if Karen Minty were here, I wouldn't have you. You slip into your coat. I tell you that I understand that you're not ready to move in, but you're welcome to bring your computer here and write anytime you want. You're moved. You hug me. That's so sweet, Joe. My computer's so old and clunky. I wish I could get you a new one, I say, one of those MacBook Airs. You don't need to get me anything, you say. You're not greedy. You're content. And those MacBook Airs are crazy expensive, Joe. And besides, when I'm here, the last thing in the world I want to do is write. So it all works out with my clunky old computer. I kiss you. I know to let you walk out on your own, and you turn back and blow me a kiss, twice. When you're gone, I flop onto the couch and fuck around on my computer. I look up MacBook Airs and college courses. Let's face it, you are a writer. That's your life. I love the bookstore, but business will never be what it was. I want to buy you a MacBook Air, and I'm overwhelmed in the good way. I email you. I feel close to you. Is it time for you to come back yet? You don't reply, but I'm not worried or scared anymore. I know you too well. I know that you're jotting ideas down in the notepad application on your phone. I know that you're not ignoring me. You're writing because you're inspired, because you're content, because of me. It's a slow day in the shop, which is fine by me. I have time to make plans, to plant seeds. I signed up for a Q&A at NYU about part-time student life. I don't know what I'll study, books, business, but I want to work hard for you, for us. I call Bemelmans and make a reservation for us next week. You probably don't realize it, but it's almost 6 months since we first met, and I'm gonna go for broke. We're gonna start off right here. I'm gonna set up a table in the cage and have a candlelit dinner. We're gonna fuck in there and do it right, and then you're gonna get your present, a dress I just bought online at Victoria's Secret. They keep emailing you reminders about your shopping cart, and I was able to find the item number and search the online inventory. It's hot. You showed it to Shayna and Lynn. You think it's too hot. Shayna, get it. Why not? Lynn, just don't get it in red. Also, wear tights. Shayna, are you kidding? The whole point of a slutty dress is that it's slutty. You, ladies, calm down. I know I can never pull this off. But you can, and you will, and the dress is going to arrive tomorrow. It's going to be hard to hide it from you, to wait, because I know you're going to look great in it, Beck. But if you're too shy to wear it to Bemelmans, then I'll understand, of course. FedEx arrives, and there's a new James Patterson. Gonna get busy in here tomorrow. And there's a little something for me, too. I'd almost forgotten that I ordered a DVD of Pitch Perfect. You only watch the download, but you should own what you love. It's that simple. I should wait to give it to you until it's our anniversary, but at the same time, you're coming over tonight, and you made me a pie. There's no way I'm waiting, and I stash the DVD in my bag and tear into the box of Pattersons. I put on some tunes. For once, I'm in the mood for Ethan's music, and maybe this is what it means to be happy. And I make adjustments in popular fiction to make room for Patterson. The same way I'm going to make room for you when you move in with me. I'm happy, Beck, and the juices are flowing, and I just got another idea for our anniversary. Before we go to Bemelmans, we'll go to Macy's in Midtown and head back to our dressing room. You're not going to believe the way I went out of my way for you, and maybe after Bemelmans, we'll go to a tattoo parlor and get tattoos that only we can see. Everything shipped would look hot in a small black letters right high up on your inner thigh. And I better calm down or I'm going to have to hang a sign and take 5 in the cage downstairs. The day soars into night, and I can't believe it when it's time to close up shop. My senses are alive. You do that to me now, not fucking Nicky. I walk this block every day, but today it looks different. freshly washed, even though it's not. Street cleaning happens on Tuesdays and it's Friday. Teenagers abound, talking about plans for the weekend, and I was lonely in high school, but not anymore. I can't resist, and I text you. Be home soon. You get back at me right away. K. And even the dreaded K doesn't bum me out. There's nothing to worry about anymore. I've never felt so at peace with where I am, right now, on a train, tunneling toward my home, toward you. I take my time walking up the stairs and onto the street. I want life to move slowly because I want to anticipate you with all my heart, greet you with all my heart, fuck you with all my heart, and miss you with all my heart. I have to laugh because I sound like a greeting card, but I deserve this. You. Joy. My whole life, I've never felt at home. My whole life I wondered why other people seem to be able to set themselves up with a job, with a family, with friends. Every year, my dad would bring a Christmas tree home and my mom would get angry and drag it onto the sidewalk. Everyone at school knew we were the weirdos who tossed our tree on the street before Christmas. I'd plan on Hanukkah, but my dad would yell at my mother, "You don't even know what a menorah. Since when are you so Jewish?" I've survived winters without presents in red and green or blue and silver. I've known Thanksgivings without turkey. My dad prefers beef. I've waited, Beck. I reach my stoop. The wait is over. I unlock the front door and the key sticks because I gave you my keys and the spare I'm using is rusty. I get the mail, just bills, and coupons for Jay Goldberg. The usual. I climb the steps and I remember what it was like climbing the steps when they led to Karen Minty. And I think of something I love about you with each step, and I do my homework even though I don't need therapy anymore. Number 1, Beck sees beyond my background and knows that you don't have to go to college to be smart. Number 2, Beth loves me in her own way, with a toothbrush, a robe. Number 3, Beck isn't afraid to tell me how much she loves being with me. Number 4, Beck wakes up happy when she wakes up with me. Number 5, Beck can't cook and neither can I, and she says that's good because it means we get to learn together. Number 6, Beck looked up solipsist in the dictionary that night, and now her dictionary is marked with all kinds of words that came out of my mouth and into her world. Number 7, when she orgasms, she clings to me with her entire body. Her tits respond to my touch. Respond. Her whole body is a response. Number 8, she has the capacity to be genuinely happy for other people. She takes pride in the fact that she put Ethan and Blythe together. She is sweet. Number 9, she remembers everything I said or nothing I said, and it's always good either way. She says sometimes that she's so crazy about me that she goes deaf when I talk. I can't wait anymore. I want you now. And I run up the last few steps and swing open the door, and I'm hard as a rock, and I've got pitch perfect in my hand, but it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. The tapestry that covers the hole is on the floor, and you look at me with new eyes when you see me. You're holding a pair of your panties. You quiver with fear, like I'm a horror movie, like I'm a Rottweiler or a rejection letter, and I'm none of those things. And I take a step toward you. Beck, I try. No, you say. No. My father just got home, so let me go feed him real quick, and I'll be back. And cliffhanger for you to wait for a minute. Okay, thank you for your patience. I am Beck. My voice is already going a little bit, so I'll just keep reading as long as I can, basically, until I start sounding like a frog. All right, chapter 46. You're the one who snooped in my wall, yet you're acting like I'm the only one in this apartment with problems. You want to leave me, of course. You're afraid of the box of Beck. You're judgmental, nasty. You stand in front of the hole in the wall behind my sofa, my special and private place. And my box is on my sofa, partially shredded because you tore into it like a sewer rat. There's only one good thing about any of this. In your haste to snoop through my things, you left your phone on the coffee table. I grab it while you're burrowing through the box. This is a used tampon. It's in plastic. Don't you fucking move, you order. A lot of guys would be pissed, but not me. I know you're out of your mind right now, Beck. Hell, you're angry that I stole your Mardi Gras beads, but you didn't even know that they were missing until now. You're mad that I helped you scour your apartment for your Chanel sunglasses last week when I clearly knew they were in this box. But honestly, you're better off without those fucking obnoxious glasses. They're for people like Peach. You look silly in them, and you change the subject. Well, what about this? You vent. This is my yearbook, Joe. And it's perfectly fine. It's mine, you sicko. You didn't go to Nantucket High School. This is my book from my life and my friends and my home. Beck, you have never sounded more selfish, but I will be patient. You point at me. No. You can't be held responsible for your actions. You keep looking at the fire escape like that's a possibility for you. You're talking crazy, like you'd leave me after all that pie, all that talk about moving in together. I try to reach you. Beck, calm down. You're not climbing out the window. You're not going to run down the stairs when you're out of your mind like this. Round and round we go. 1 minute you're afraid. 1 minute you're going to kill me. 1 minute you think I'm going to kill you. 1 minute you're the victim of my evil doing, lol. And 1 minute I'm the victim because you're going to kill me, lol. You snarl and call me a fucking sicko. I know you don't mean it. If you were truly afraid, you would make a serious attempt to escape. But the fact is that I know you. I know you are pleased with your discovery. You like attention and devotion, and that box is proof that I am attentive, devoted. If that box contained Candace's things, you would have broken your neck trying to get out of my home. You will get on my side, but I have to be patient. You're in shock. You scream again. My head is starting to pound, and I worry about the neighbors, and I snap. Would you please shut the fuck up already? Do you hear me calling you names? How do you think I feel when I walk in here and find you in my wall? Do you think that feels good? Do you think I like to be spied on? You have a box of my shit, you sneer. I'm leaving. Nobody is making any decisions right now, I say. And let's be honest, Beck, I could just as easily say I'm done with you for snooping around in my stuff. I can't believe this, you stammer. You're crazy. You're crazy. And here you go again with the chattering teeth and you're pulling at your hair. I can't believe this is happening to me. Don't you get tired of your dramatics? Calm down, Beck, I plead. Why don't you sit down on the sofa? Your cheeks get red, and you get up on your tippy toes and you call me names. Psycho, loon, nutjob, freak, asshole, sicko, creep, and it's fine. I know you don't mean it. Oh, I mean it, Joe, you gawk, and you brandish my Figawi hat. I don't even want to know where this comes from. It's a long story. I'm sure, you say, fucking sicko. I remember last month around this time, you got violent and screamed at me for throwing away a 3-day-old burrito that was stinking up your fridge. The next day you got your period and you kissed me on the cheek. I'm not crazy, you said. I'm sorry. I know, Beck. I promise, you said. When I get nasty like that, it's like I'm standing outside of myself and I know I'm being terrible and irrational, but there's nothing I can do about it. I have serious PMS issues sometimes. I forgave you, and I haven't thought about that moment until now because I know how to be in an everything ship. Anyone who walked in here right now would think you're nuts, Beck. Anyone would try and protect me and ask you to lower your voice as you assault me with accusations. I'm a pervert and a sicko and a stalker and a hoarder and a psycho, and I don't respond. Are you deaf, Joe? You know I'm not deaf. You're screaming again, and do I scream at you? Never. When I text you and you don't respond right away, I let it go. And now it's your turn to let it go. It's not like I stole anything that you need. Who looks at their high school yearbook? You're moving on with your life. I never once saw you look at that thing. You don't miss those people. And a lot of girls would apologize for invading my privacy. You're ungrateful right now. You're still calling me names. Depraved, twisted, panty-hoarding creep. You will settle down and I will get through this, and I pretend you are a lion at the zoo. I'm the zookeeper and I guard the door, and I pray that I don't have to use my fist on you, but if I do, you will recover, probably. For now, my job as a zookeeper is to stand by and wait. You'll wear yourself out soon enough, the same way you wear yourself out on my dick. How long has this been going on? There is no need to raise your voice. How long? You say, and you obey. You use an indoor voice. As you know, I was quite taken with you when we met. I say, maybe there's hope. You flirted with me and we had a connection, and I didn't want to spring myself on you, ask you right there. So I waited. Uh-huh, you say, and you cross your arms and tap your foot. And then I learned about you, Beck. And I feel like the guy in The Princess Bride, and you are as stubborn as Buttercup. I was enchanted, Beck. I still am. There's nothing in that box for you to be afraid of. You look at the box, and you look at me. I don't know what to do, and I feel inadequately prepared for my job as a zookeeper. I want you to see it all. I want you to know the depth of my passion, the power of my grasp, and the certainty of my love. But then again, you're PMSing. You're probably still scared from being in the wall, and every once in a while you mumble something about missing that asshole Peach. Go ahead, I say, because there's no turning back. You can't put your panties back in the box. Literally and figuratively, the box is scratched and torn. You wrecked it. This is not what I imagined. I want to lead you away from this played box, but as a zookeeper, I know I need to keep a safe distance from the animal for the animal's sake and my own. You burrow through my things that you think of as your things, and now you find my pièce de résistance, the Book of Beck. It's beautiful. You should be flattered that a stand-up guy like me, who's smarter than most guys, is creating a tribute to you. It's not done, I say. I'm going to have it bound. My stories, you say, and you are you again. They're all there, I say. We are fine. Now, we are. Any second now, you will run across the room and hug me. I am wrong. Your mouth contorts. You bark. This is my email. Beck, please, I say. It's a tribute. You hacked my fucking email. I didn't hack anything, I snap, because again, you let me down. And you could have told your mother to cancel your fucking phone. That's on you. You close the book and drop it in the box. The sun is setting and it's almost time to turn on the lights. I step toward you. You flinch and you are hateful, and here we go again. Now you have new mean names for me like murderer and killer and liar. I remain tough, focused like a zookeeper must when the animals turn violent. You don't mean that, I say calm. You're a twisted fucking stalker and you don't know what I mean. No, I'm not, I say. No, I'm not. I chase you. I deflect your barbs and I block you when you come at me. It's so easy to grab both of your wrists because you're so little and I'm so strong, and I have no trouble forcing you onto the sofa. You can't fight, and when you promise to be good, which you always do, I let go of you and return to my post at the door. You are panting. What's wrong with you? I love you. This isn't love. This is sick. This is our everything ship, I say. Our word. You need help, you say. You're deaf. You're a sicko. I would like to be a bigger person, but you call me names, and then I think about your crimes. You should be locked up, Joe, okay? Do you understand that? This is all bad. You don't close the refrigerator all the way, and twice in your place we've had to toss out all the food. You're a sick person, and sick people need help, Joe. I am healthy, and you are a trollop. You threw yourself at Nicky. You're incapable of admitting that you're jealous of Blythe. Joe, let me call the doctors. Please, let me help you. I don't need doctors, and you lie. Even now, you're looking around for a weapon. You try to return clothes you already worn, and even though you're my girlfriend, you let me go to voicemail when I call you sometimes. You're not always attentive with your razor, and sometimes I think the lady who waxes you doesn't have a license to wax anyone because your thighs are often coated in little red dots and don't feel good against my nice clean legs. Joe, you need to let me go now. And you need to stop judging me. You're a slob, and not in the way you think you are. You leave used tampons in your trash, and you don't take the garbage out frequently enough, and for a week last month, your apartment reeked of moonblood. You still masturbate even though you have the honor of access to my cock. That silk blouse you're wearing? You look slutty, Beck. I thought so this morning. But in an everything ship, you have to let things roll off of you and focus on the positive. I'm leaving, you say. Ha. You don't want to do that right now. I remain calm because someone has to remain calm. People always regret what they do in emotional moments like this. You don't even bother trying to get past me. You respect my strength, but I see you looking around. You're an animal, and you run into my bedroom. Mine. You reach onto my shelf. Mine. You pick up the Italian Dan Brown. You throw it at me. Where's my phone, Joe? In good hands, I promise. And I pull it out of my pocket. You left it on the table. You call me a sick fuck, and you groan, and you're a slob, and slobs suffer. Stop imagining things, Beck. I would be a great zookeeper. I'm good at this, slowly closing in on the animal as it works itself into a tizzy. I'll scream. You don't know how I can scream. Your neighbors will come. They'll know. I don't mean it, but I say it. I'll kill you if you scream. And it's over. You begin to yelp and spring at me, and I don't like you right now. You make me do terrible things like hold you down and clap my hand over your mouth. You make me twist your arms and bear down on you, and this is our bed. You kick. You scream and it's over. You just kick. Beck, stop fighting me. You squirm, but I'm stronger. You're a danger to yourself, to the world. You don't know what you're saying, and you need me now more than ever, and eventually your anger transforms into sadness, again. Your muffled blubbering heats the palm of my hand, and I don't loosen my grip. You're gonna wind up with nodes like your friend in Pitch Perfect if you keep yelling like that. You stop, finally. I make a proposal. Beck, blink your eyes if you promise not to scream anymore. If you promise, I'll take my hand away. You blink. I'm a man of my word, and I take my hand off your mouth. I'm sorry, you say. You're hoarse, and you flash your eyes at me. Joe, we can talk about this. I can't help but laugh. Huh, you think we're gonna talk while you're in the middle of a PMS explosion? We can't talk now. Your mood swings are psychotic. My goodness, Beck, do you think I'm that stupid? But you beg. Please, Joe, please. I love the sound of your voice, and that would have been my number 10. Beck has a beautiful voice. Unfortunately, you were lying, and you kick once more, trying to escape. The worst part of being a zookeeper is the moment when I have to save the animal from its emotions, from its wild, illogical nature. You kick and scream. You bite. But your Portman-sized body is no match for mine, Beck. I count to 3. I give you the chance to shut up, but you don't shut up, and after 3, I take your little head in my hand, sorry, and smash it against the wall, sorry. You're going to be sorry too when you calm down and realize what you made me do. I'm lonely in the silence, and I kiss your forehead. Clearly, you have problems, and your menstrual cycle issues are just the tip of the iceberg. What kind of a girl climbs into a wall? You can't accept my love when you're this messed up. And you've got one hell of a way of asking for help. I move fast. You won't be asleep for long. I pack supplies and sling my messenger bag over my shoulder and lift you up and carry you down the stairs and hail a cab. The driver sizes you up and wants to know which hospital. But we're not going to the hospital, Beck. We're going to my shop. This is New York. The driver doesn't ask questions. Animals know you don't fuck with a zookeeper. Chapter 47. You won't be happy when you wake up alone in the cage. But I have done my best. I left you a plastic bottle of root beer, a plastic bottle of water, a bag of pretzels, some crayons I found in a drawer, and a notepad. It's not like you can either say I starved you or deprived you. You're safe. I even brought the shop's laptop downstairs and put the Pitch Perfect DVD on Wish speakers on a chair outside of the cage. You've seen the movie enough to know that Becca does some terrible things to Jesse. She rebuffs his advances, she mocks his interests, she bites his head off, and she won't let him get close. But in the end, she makes a bold public proclamation of love in the form of a song, and he forgives her for all the terrible things she did. And I am going to forgive you, Beck. I kiss you goodbye, and I lock the basement doors and text Ethan. Hey, buddy, no need to come in tomorrow. Pipe burst. Gonna be a few days. Sorry, dog. The miracle about love is that I'm still not angry with you. I feel sorry for you. It must be so hard to carry all that anger around. I don't have that kind of anger in me. You are so vicious, and I wish I could reach inside of you and just suck the venom out. I unlock the door to your place, and I prove my forgiveness. I take out the trash. It reeks of bananas and womanhood. All of this might be your way of punishing me for the mistakes I've made, for my hands on Karen Minty, for my thoughts of Amy Adam. I flop onto the couch in your living room. Something jabs my ass, and I stand up and jam my hand between the cushions, and it's my copy of Love Story. I don't remember you asking to borrow it. It's soiled with milky coffee, shards of tobacco from the cigarette you smoked for no reason, a gum wrapper, ink stains, sand. How the fuck did sand get in there? Sand. And I'm still not angry with you. I love you, my little piggy. I flipped through Love Story. I wonder why you stole it from me, why you tarnished it with an 800 number for a rice cooker you'll never buy. I would have given my love story to you. I would have given you anything. I look at the blank television set and wonder if this is my fault too. Was I stingy with you? Did I miss a hint you dropped about Love Story? I can't sit here anymore, and I go into the kitchen to clean my book. But of course, you're all out of paper towels, and I remember one of my favorite nights in this kitchen, a few weeks ago, a few eons ago. We'd had a great day together, and even though you'd been tied up with school and I'd been slammed at the shop, I joked that I'd be arriving at your place at 7 sharp and that I expected dinner to be on the table. The joke being the fact that you can't cook. But when I hopped up those stairs that led to you, you saw me coming from out the window, and I didn't have to buzz. You ran to the door and grabbed my hand and told me to close my eyes. And I did. You led me into your apartment and guided me to the sofa, and I didn't peek, and you told me to open my eyes, and I did. There you were, in your robe, holding a paper plate with a sweet potato you had sliced down the middle and molded into the shape of a heart. I looked up at you and smiled, and you teased, "Welcome home, honey." I fucked you like the glorious animal that you are, and you told me the long-winded story of how you bought a sweet potato. The first one was rotten, and you had to go back, and poked holes in it and gutted it and splayed the skin the way a high school sophomore splays a frog's abdomen in biology. I laughed at the still untouched sweet potato. Now all I see is frog. You were serious and soft. No, Joe, that's my heart. Then we ordered Chinese because one sweet potato was never going to be enough, and I love you. But now I am here alone. I used one of your little tank tops to wipe down Love Story, and you won't be knocked out for that long, and it's time to get to work. I'm gonna need your computer, so I go back to your bedroom and take it off the nightstand where it lives. And I go to the end of the bed I built, and I sit, and immediately I'm on my feet. Under the tangled sheets, there is something hard and flat. A MacBook Air. You don't have a MacBook Air. And I don't like the MacBook Air, and I take it out of your room because I don't want that thing in the bed that I built. I need a drink, and I open the freezer, and there's our vodka, but there's something else in here, gin. Since when do you drink gin and own a MacBook Air? I take the vodka into the living room and sit on your filthy couch. I take a swig. Maybe your father got it for you. Maybe your mother got it for you. Maybe Shayna left it here, and maybe there was an intruder, and maybe I should grow a set and open it. How bad can it be? I'm an imaginative guy, and I picture a lot of scenarios. But what I find in the MacBook Air blows my mind. A screensaver shot of you and Dr. Nicky taking one of those motherfucking pictures they call a selfie. You're both naked in my bed, the one I brought back on the ferry, the bed I built for you, for us. He's in our fucking bed, and I go into the kitchen and take the gin out of the freezer, and I pour it into the sink over all the dirty dishes. Fuck you, computer. Fuck you, Nicky. But when I re-enter your living room, the MacBook asshole is still on the coffee table, and if computers could smirk, this flimsy piece of shit computer would be smirking at me. I have to calm down, and who knows, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Maybe this MacBook asshole is actually old and you made a mistake a long time ago. But the homepage of this MacBook asshole is a Gmail account for... You opened the account a couple of weeks ago, right before I met Amy Adam, when you started to get quiet on me, when I started to get suspicious. You opened it for Nicky. You are a bitch. And you told him that you thought I might be reading your email. Cunt. I read. Nicky, wasn't I right? Your boyfriend can't read what he doesn't know exists. You're terrible, but you're also right. Nicky, you like your new toy? You. It's too much, a whole computer. Nicky, stop. You make me. That's all I need to say. There are over 437 emails between you and Nicky, and I'm not crazy. That middle-aged hunchback has been defiling you and taking advantage of you and letting you pay him to fuck you. When I felt like you were pulling away, you were, in fact, pulling away. You've been reduced to secret email, where it's all about Nicky. All those times you apologized to me for being late, tired, overwhelmed with work, busy, in a class full, you were either sleeping with Nicky, talking about sleeping with Nicky, or writing to Nicky. I open the photos, and there's one thumbnail of particular interest. Nicky stands over my bed holding your naked calf. He's laughing, and he's wearing my Holden Caulfield hat that you were going to bring back to Macy's. I'll admit it, Beck. That hurts. But I can't put all the blame on you. I'm the one who fucked up and let you down. I knew something was wrong. I have instincts, and I ignored them. And now you're locked in a cage because of me. I had the opportunity to take the mouse out of your house, and I didn't. No wonder you couldn't stop screaming at me. You have every right to be mad at me for failing to protect you from this lecherous, Vans-clad semi-doctor. I send Lynn and Shayna a note from your secret account. Things got ugly with Nicky. I'm so afraid Joe is going to find out, and I'm so behind on writing. I'm running away from it all to write for a few days. Love you, girlies. XO Beck. We can't have your classmates worrying about your whereabouts, so I switched to your legitimate email account and reach out to Blythe in a way that ensures she won't be trying to track you down. Blythe, oh my god, big secret. You know my maid story? Your notes were incredible, and I sent it to you-know-where, and they want it. I have so much writing to do. They're brilliant with notes. You should be interning there. Good luck with your workshop, and I want us all to get dinner when I'm done writing. Your choice. It's on me. XOB. I take out your phone and open your Twitter app. Hashtag social media vacation starts now. XOB. Chapter 48. I think I've memorized the treacherous emails between you and Dr. Nicky. I had to know them because I had to prepare an exam for you. I'm cold, calm. I put us before my own selfish rage, and I write the questions on a yellow legal pad that I bought at the deli on the way to the shop. I'm ready, and I carry my heavy messenger bag of computers to the bottom of the stairs and try to calm you down. You are shrieking. You should preserve your energy. Okay, Beck, that's enough. You look like hell, you poor thing. Your hair is a wreck, and you've been crying. What are you trying to do to me, Joe? I'm here. It's okay. You look at the computer I set up, and you shriek again and clap your hands over your ears. I don't understand because Pitch Perfect is your favorite, but I fucked up and forgot to hit play. The intro screen has been repeating since you woke up, which appears to have been a long time ago. I hit the mute button. There now. How's that, Beck? Delicious. You blubber and whimper and you're a mess, but you nod, I think. And I tell you to walk over to the sliding drawer where I deposit 2 flashcards. You look around. What the fuck is this? The drawer, Beck. I tap the drawer where Mr. Mooney gave me pizza, where I gave Benji club soda. Sometimes people do change, and I want you to pick up the cards. I explain. You need to take 2 cards. Then we'll begin. One reads yes, and one reads no. Joe, you say, and you're not walking, you're not listening. I point to the drawer in the cage, and you obey and you plead. Joe, look, I overreacted. Beck, take the cards, I say, and you look at me like I'm crazy. Pick them up. The sooner we get started, the sooner you get fed. You pick them up, and you do love a test. You sit down on the bench and you face me. I see that you ate some of the pretzels and drank most of the water. Good girl. This is an oral exam, I begin, and you laugh. I'm rooting for you to succeed, so I look the other way. Each question is true or false, and after each question, you'll have the opportunity to back up your answer. You're kidding, right? I ignore you and you're blubbering. I can't get mad. If I had to watch and listen to the DVD menu for Pitch Perfect for more than 5 hours, I too would be a mess. I look down at my yellow legal pad and begin. True or false? You're having an affair with your therapist, Nick Angevine. False, you snap. I want you to pass this test, so I press. Again. True or false? You are having an affair with your therapist, Nicholas Angevine. I deliberately left out the word doctor, and you hang your head. False. I sigh. You sure about that? Finally, you open up to me, petal by petal. A spring opens. You pull your hair behind your ear. It's complicated. This isn't Facebook, Beck. Nothing is complicated. It is or it isn't. You're on your feet, rattling, pulling at your hair, growling, screaming for help, afraid for your life. Your poor vocal cords, what a waste. I drop my legal pad. I walk to the cage. I love you, Beck. The last thing in the world I want to do is kill you. Then let me out. Soon, I say, and I return to my station and pick up my legal pad. True or false? You're having an affair with Nick Angevine. You groan and kick, but you stab the air with the yes card. Yes. Correct, I say. And I make a check mark next to the question. Joe, you say, and you're on your feet again, then falling to your knees like an orphan. You beg, you supplicate. Please don't lose it over Dr. Nicky. It was a mistake, okay? I was crazy, and it's over. I mean, we slept together once, Joe. It was nothing. One stupid night. It wasn't one stupid night, and it's time to move on. Next question, I announce, and this is hard, Beck. This is hard for me. True or false? Joe Goldberg has a lot going for him. You guffaw and your answer, sure and fast. True. Are you kidding? You have a ton going for you. I'm always telling you how smart you are, how much smarter you are than everyone I know. You're amazing, and you're funny, and smart, and real. I was afraid you'd say something like that. I reach into my messenger bag for the MacBook, asshole. You see it, and you growl. You kick and stomp and pound your fists. You're acting like a 5-year-old, and I wait for the tantrum to end. I know you love me, and I know you didn't mean these things, but we can't move forward without full disclosure. You're the one who went into my wall. I had no choice but to go into yours. I read an email you sent yesterday to Nicky from Beckalicious 1027. Nicky, honey, I'm trying to end things with Joe, but he has so little going for him, and I'm definitely the best thing that ever happened to him, and it's hard. And honestly, Nicky, sometimes in the middle of the night, I wake up and I think I don't want to be a stepmother. Oh, can you bring back the things they carried? Thanks. I close the MacBook, asshole. I don't show you any emotion. As the test administrator, I must maintain my professional emotional distance. There's a dense quiet. It feels like the rare books are listening to us, breathing, waiting. Okay, you say, and we are a new place. I am a shit, Joe. Textbook damaged goods. And you always look at me like I'm so amazing, and I don't know. I don't know why you do that, because I'm not. And I was gonna get your book back, I was. I want to kiss you and tell you that I love you and hold you, but I don't. I speak. True or false? You don't want to be with Nicky anymore. True, Joe. And you sit down in the chair and spread your legs and hang your head in between. You lift your head. 100% totally, finally true. I open the MacBook, asshole, and take a deep breath. We're moving on to reading comprehension. I'm going to read you something that Nicky wrote to you, and you're going to tell me what it means. You stare at me. You say nothing. I take your silence as understanding and I cough, and I read aloud from Nicky's email to you. Is that what you think, Beck? Well, I think I just told my wife about you. It's a little late for you to say that you're reluctant to be a stepmother. This isn't a game, Beck. This is life. I'm coming over. I have nowhere to go. She wants me out, Beck. All this is happening, and you asked me about a book. I close the MacBook, asshole. You have 2 minutes to tell me what this letter means to you. I'm sorry, I need a quick moment. The dog is like flipping out, so I'm gonna have to feed her early just to get her to calm down because she's just gonna continue freaking out until I do. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Sorry. Thank you again for waiting. Hopefully she'll chill out so I can at least finish this chapter. I closed the MacBook, asshole. You have 2 minutes to tell me what this letter means to you. I want to tell you the answer bad, but I can't. Oh shit, I think my dog just peed on the bed. One moment. I told you if you wanted to pee. God damn it. My apologies. She did in fact pee on the bed. So I cleaned it up as best as I could right now. It's too extensive of work to do in the middle of a fucking live stream. I start the stopwatch on my phone. The answer is so obvious, Beck. You're supposed to tell me that you want to report Nicky to the authorities so they take away his license. You're supposed to tell me that you want his wife to kick him out and that you want him to die homeless, alone, with a suitcase of scratch records and nowhere to play them. And then you're supposed to realize that you don't really want that to happen. You should realize by now that you feel nothing for him. You should know that all you want is me. But 59 seconds of your allotted time have passed by and you haven't said a word. You clap your hands. All right, Joe, the jig is up, you say, too sing-songy. I fell hard for a married guy. I'm a horrible person. I'm not going to sit here and blame my parents or whatever because I'm 24 years old. A lot of girls have shitty dads. There's no excuse. You gave the wrong answer. Nicky really did a number on you, and it's physically and emotionally exhausting to climb your way out of the trap he set for you. A pig in his rig. You are trying. I see that. I open the MacBook, asshole, and announce. Next question. Reading comprehension of the last exchange between you and Nicky. You wrote, I'm so sorry, Nicky. I really believe that I will never love anyone the way I love you. You leap up. You object. Joe, stop, please. I raise a hand. Stop. I read what you wrote. I get wet just thinking about you, and that's never happened for me. You interject aloud. I've said that to every guy ever, Joe. That's what guys like to hear. You can't think it's the truth. Thank you, Dorzen. I lose focus and I react. Well, you never said that to me. Because you're different. You say different. Hot. You wouldn't buy into my bullshit. You are charming, but I have a test to administer. Besides, you don't want to get by on your good looks, your sexy cadence. I appreciate the lurk. You want to pass the test with your wits. I look down at the MacBook, asshole, and continue reading your letter to Nicky. I feel like you love your wife more than you know. I feel like I might love Joe. You interrupt again. I do love you, Joe. I do. I ignore you. It is still my turn to speak. Now I'll read Nicky's response. You want to know how I feel, Beck? I feel like you're a selfish fucking cunt. Good luck to you, Beck. They're gonna need it, seeing that you haven't any morals. I close the MacBook, asshole, and return it to my messenger bag. I pick up my yellow pad. You have 3 minutes to convey the meaning of your last communication with Nicky. I give you extra time because you're a good listener and you've been through hell. Nicky should fry for what he did to you. And I failed you when I let him go. He abused you in that sacred safe haven of beige pillows, classic rock, and bullshit. I feel sorry for you, Beck. It's no surprise that you were so demented that you lied and told me your place was being exterminated. You needed to get away from your MacBook, asshole, and the asshole that gave you the MacBook, asshole. Of course, you were climbing into the walls of my home, literally, you poor thing. You're still thinking, pacing, and I'm praying. I want you to give the correct answer. I want you to tell me that you don't recognize your voice in those emails. I want you to tell me that after less than 8 hours in the cage, you feel born again. I want you to say that you never got wet upon seeing that hunchback megalomaniac and tell me you love me and beg for my forgiveness. All I want to do is forgive you. It's been 34 seconds and 2 minutes since I started the stopwatch, and you look up at me and answer. The funny thing is, the first time I ever went to see Nicky, he wanted to know what was wrong with me. He was like, well, Beck, let's figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. You laugh lightly, and Nicky used the same line on me, bastard. You go on. And I told him that I felt like my head was a house. He didn't get it, but I said that my head is like a house and there's this mouse in there, and that's why I'm so anxious all the time. You came up with that, and he is a thief. Low. Oh, I say, and I should have killed Nicky the first day I walked into his office. He didn't get it until I told him that the only thing that made me forget about the mouse was hooking up. I look at the Pitch Perfect menu on mute. You are nothing like Becca. Anyway, you say, and you continue to break my heart. I told him that I love to be wanted. I told him I love new things. And I told you that too, Joe. I thought you meant crap from IKEA, I say, and you look away. You try to explain yourself, and you talk about your problems like you're talking about a movie you watched in the middle of the night. You're clinical, detached, and you've been this way for a while, long before we met. You call yourself a stalker. You say that you've pictured the same wedding, the song is My Sweet Lord, with a million different guys, including you, Joe. So you did want to marry me, I say. You are my love, my sweet lord. You growl. You don't get it, Joe. I'm not like that. I think you are wrong, and you say that therapy is a joke. You continue. You can't get a mouse out of a house, not unless you blow up the fucking house. You're exhausted and hungry and incoherent, and I slide the legal pad into my messenger bag and put 2 cherry pie Lara bars in a drawer for you. You do love to talk about yourself, even in a cage. I play pitch perfect and I walk up the stairs and ignore your calls for me to stay. I can't stay. I have to prepare the second segment of the test. I hustle over to Popular Fiction and pick up 2 copies of the Da Vinci Code. I jog down the stairs and find you tearing into a Lara bar with your eyes glued to the troublemakers, making music with their mouths. I did good. I pull the drawer out and toss the Da Vinci Code inside. Are you kidding? You say, your mouth gorging with cherry pie woman food. I point to my copy. I'm gonna read it too. Why? Because it's the only book I can think of that you and I have both never read. We need to share an experience together in order to move forward. You flip through the book and you have a deep confidence, a sexual prowess, a bullheaded pride, and a soft, hungry magnet that heaves between your legs. You're not afraid of me, of anyone. Men love you. You know it. No man can ever be a mouse in your house because you'll always have someone. A hot clerk in a bookstore, a horny shrink, a closeted rich girl. Someone will always watch over you and you believe that you are special. In the cage, you feel loved, not trapped, just like me. Chapter 49. There is a mouse in our house, and his name is Dan Brown, Lord of our manor, creator of Professor Robert Langdon and keen, mesmerizing cryptologist Sophie Naveau. We are hooked almost immediately, and we travel well together. We go to the Louvre and we follow the clues, and you lie on your belly and you kick up and down when something exciting happens, which is often. I'm on my side, on the other side of the cage, just as hooked as you are. We take breaks to talk about the Opus Dei and the Priory of Sion, and we both wish Robert Langdon were real, and I find clips of the film adaptation online for both of us to devour when we need to rest our eyes and our fingers. You have never felt so compelled to read, and I admit the same is true for me. I mean, I love Stephen King books, you say, but that's different because his work is so well crafted. The Shining is fucking literature, you know? I do know, and I remember Benji and his refusal to admit that he loved Dr. Sleep. We read late into the night, and you wake me up the next day by sliding the drawer back and forth and back and forth. Come on, you squeal. I'm dying over here. We start to read, but we need coffee, and I bolt up the stairs and through the shop and down the street, and you aren't just passing the test, you are acing it. There's a long line at Starbucks, but you deserve that salted caramel stuff you drink every so often, and our book club is the best. Is it twisted that I can relate to Silas? You asked me last night. This will sound sick, but when I found out Peach was dead, I was more angry for myself than I was sad for her. She was the best friend in the world because I was the world to her. She was obsessed with me, and I couldn't even remember the exact date of her birthday. You were the church, I said. And she was the Silas, you said. I reminded you of the first conversation we ever had in the bookstore, when you teased me that I was a preacher and I said I was a church. Wow, you said. Wow. I smile at nothing and everything as I walk back to the shop, carrying her salted caramel. We are a dream couple. We are what happens after Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks finally kiss. after cancer-free Joe Gordon-Levitt and sweet shrink-in-training Anna Kendrick eat their pizza in 50-50. We are Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke after U2 finishes singing All I Want Is You. When I reach the bottom of the stairs, you clap, but you are puzzled. Joe, you say, that tall cup is too tall for the drawer. I know, I say, and I love you for living in here, for not fighting. So how are you going to get that to me? I smile and show you the low, wide mug I bought for that specific purpose, and you say it again. Wow. You've said that word more in the past 24 hours than you have in the past 24 weeks, and you call me a genius and ask me to tell you again about how I got Benji to go to the shop. We have our coffee together on opposite sides of the cage, and when I finish telling you the story, you shake your head, and here it comes again. Wow. Nah, I say. One thing, though, you say, and you set your coffee on the ground. That last Benji tweet, you said in Nantucket. And I remember reading that tweet and thinking he must be seriously fucked up because he knows that it's on Nantucket and not in Nantucket. Nice work, Sophie. And I grin. And there's no mourning and there's no war because we are united. We are UNICEF. We give. Thanks, Professor. You glimmer and you wink. Break, I say. Perfect, you reply. And we're so good in here, and I play We Are the World, and you laugh, and ask why I chose that song, and I tell you about how I feel, like we improve upon the world in this basement. And you are serious, and you know what I mean, and you agree. And I've never been this connected to another human being in my life. You know the way my senses work, the way my brain works. You like it in there, in here. The hours fly by, and something in the Da Vinci Code leads into a conversation about the Dickens Festival, and costumes leads to hats, and I blush, and you realize that I know about the Holden Caulfield hat. You close your Da Vinci Code. You hug your knees the way you do when you are truly, totally sad. That must have been horrible for you, you say. It doesn't look good on him either, I say, and I'm as stealthy as Robert Langdon, but you still feel bad. I'm a phony. Beck, no, you're not. You're like this nobleman of the Priory of Sion running around, figuring me out, and I'm so inept I can't even properly hide a hunting cap, let alone a disgusting and cheap and shitty fling. Disgusting, cheap, shitty, fling! It is a relief to hear you talk this way, and I smile. You give it your all, Beck. You just have to be more careful about who you give it to. You're right, you say. Nobody is more dedicated, more intense than you, Joe. Except for you, I say, and you smile. You wink. We read. When we're both in it, we are quiet. We get sucked into a book in the same kind of way, and at some point we both fall asleep. I wake up first, yay, and I let you rest. I go up into the shop and stretch. Ethan has texted me. Joey, my man, congrats to Beck. Blythe tells me she's getting published in the New Yorker. That is amazing. Let's meet up for a drink next week on me or housewarming. Moving to Blythe's as we speak. Exclamation point, Ethan finally has a reason to use exclamation points, and I feel happy for him. I go to fiction A through D and find Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and I am dizzy. I anticipate our future. The day I tell you about following you to Bridgeport, to the Dickens Festival in Port Jeff, you will say wow, again. And less than an hour later, my predictions prove accurate. You leaf through Great Expectations. Wow, you say. So you really did know what my half-siblings look like. Yep, I say. I bought a beard. You know, just in case. You toss Great Expectations in the drawer. I think you're a genius. I pull the drawer and take Dickens out. You ready? You grin. I thought you'd never ask. We settle into our spots, and it feels like we're holding hands and running off the dock, holding our breath as we jump back into the deep, consuming water that is the Da Vinci Code. These are the happiest moments of my life, looking up at you and waiting for you to feel my eyes as you give me what I want. 2:43, you? I'm on 2:51. Well, take a break and let me catch up, you say, and you remark once again that I am both a fast reader and a thorough reader, which is special because most people, men especially, are just one or the other. Is that true? I didn't know that. I'm both. Sorry. We cry when Robert and Sophie make it to the chalice. We know what's to come as they cross the landscape and enter the church. You put your hand in the drawer, and I put my hand in the drawer, and the drawer is designed to keep our hands apart, but I feel your pulse, I do. You sniffle. I don't want it to end. This is like the end of the corrections, I say, and the problem with books is that they end. They seduce you, they spread their legs to you and pull you inside, and you go deep and leave your possessions and your ties to the world at the door, and you like it inside, and you don't want for your possessions or your ties, and then the book evaporates. You turn the page and there's nothing. And we are both crying. We're happy for Sophie and Robert, and we are jet-lagged from the travel. We journeyed. At times, we were so in the book that you were Sophie, descendant of Christ, and I was Langdon, savior of Sophie, and we're easing back into our bodies, our minds. You yawn, and I yawn, and your back cracks. We laugh. You ask me how long it's been. 3 days? Almost 4? Wow, you say. I know, I say. We should celebrate. How so? I don't know, you lie, you nymph. I could go for some ice cream. The Da Vinci Code is the greatest book in the world, and someday, when we live together, we will have a shelf, brand new, not used, I know you and your new things, and there will be nothing on the shelf except our Da Vinci Codes, nestled together, merged forever by the supernatural force that is our love. Chapter 50. I run out to buy you ice cream and I hear Bobby Short singing in my head. I am your prince. And I'm on air, on the way to the deli, and on the way back. I bound down the stairs. Can't get to you fast enough. With the ice cream you wanted, vanilla. You are simple again. 3 weeks ago, you would have wanted some fucking gelato you read about in the Sunday Styles. I want to tell you about the funny dude on the line at the deli, but when I reach the bottom of the stairs, you are different. You are naked. I am still. Beck, come over here, you command, low. Bring the ice cream. I do as I'm told, and your right hand moves over your collarbone and onto your breast, and you have another demand. Give me my dessert. I tear at the bag, and the spoon falls on the floor, but fuck it. And I tear off the lid as well as the plastic lining. The ice cream is soft and my dick is hard, and I know why Bobby Short felt like a racehorse. I am a racehorse. 1 second, I say. Tick-tock, you say. You purr. I play the song on the computer. You like it. You command, put it on repeat. I obey and I return to the drawer, and you kneel before the cage, your nipples hard. You want to know if I can pull the drawer out and make an open window. I can. You tell me to take off my pants. I do. You reach both hands to the new open space where the drawer used to be, and I pick up the ice cream and approach the cage. You touch yourself and your finger emerges wet, glistening, and I know to bring the pint closer. The ice cream is hotter because of our heat, melting. You immerse your other hand in the magnet between your legs, and you don't let go of my eyes. Both of your hands are covered in your juices, and you dip those wet fingers into the melting vanilla. You tease me. You tell me you want my mouth, and I give you my mouth. And your fingers fill my mouth, and your other fingers are touching skillfully, mysteriously. Her first rose. My dick. Your hands are the Da Vinci Code, and my body is yours. I suck the life out of your fingers, and you pry them from my mouth. I look down at you, and you are in the vanilla. You dig deep. Your vanilla hand joins your other hand on my hard cock, and I am cool and hot and hard to your soft. Your hands can dance, and they lead me to your mouth, and you swallow me, and I moan, and we are the world, and there's barely room for the three of us, my cock and your hands. I belong in your mouth, and when I open my eyes, you're staring at me, wide, whole. I need you, all of you. You want all of me. You know all my secrets, and your mouth has teeth. You take me out of your mouth and hold me in your hands. You look up at me, pleading. fuck me. I don't consciously decide to trust you. My body takes over and I can't unlock the cage fast enough. You rub your hands over your body and you wait. I jam the key into the lock and I miss your touch and I enter your space. You do not run away. You run at me. Lust. I lock my hand around your neck and inject my tongue into your mouth and you take it. You scratch me. I could kill you and you know it, and your nipples are harder than ever and your pussy never felt this sweet, this tight, just vanilla. And we could go on like this forever. You orgasm truly, you're exploding, and it's an exorcism and an exclamation point. You're speaking in tongues, and I own you, and I'm in you, and I loosen my grip and explode, and you own me, you do. Your back arches, wow. I've taken you places better than the Upper West Side, superior to Turks and Caicos and Nicky's beige room. I've taken you to France, to the chalice, to the moon, and you cease to move and a smile rolls over your entire body and you're a lily pad, sun-stroked and floating, rooted to the floor of the lake, me, dark above you. The cage door is wide open, and I'm half naked, and I'd never be able to catch you if you ran up the stairs. If you grabbed my empty dick and kicked and tried to make a run for it, you would make it. The basement doors are unlocked, so you could, theoretically, escape upstairs. But the front door is locked. You didn't work here long enough to learn where I stashed the key. Still, if you wanted to, you could risk it all to run naked into the shop and scream for help. Someone would help you, and someone would come for me, but none of that is happening. Your body can't tell lies, and your goosebumps tell the truth. You lick your lips and look up at me. You purr. Joe, wow. Chapter 51. At some point, I stop pretending to be asleep and allow myself to watch you sleep. We live in a new world, and I kiss you and I stretch. I need to wash up, and I walk out of the cage. I don't lock you in. We don't lock doors in this new world. I leave the cage door ajar, and I do the same for the soundproof basement door, as well as the vestibule door that opens into the shop. We are free, and I carry the Da Vinci codes with me like a kid with a new toy. When I make it upstairs, I'm genuinely surprised to find the books are where they were before we started reading. They survived the earthquake of our orgasm, and the closed sign is where it was when we traveled into the Da Vinci Code, and the bathroom was just as it was earlier today before I fucked you to life. I flip on the switch and the tiny bathroom fills with halogen light, and the loud, shitty fan that you nagged me to replace. Even the fan makes me smile because of you, and I will replace it, Beck. You're right, it's too noisy. And it's so old that it can't possibly serve any function. It's also a safety hazard when I'm in the shop alone, because one switch controls the light and the fan. You can't have light without noise, and you can't hear anything above the whir of the fan. And you are right, Beck. It's dangerous. I flush the toilet and turn on the water and look at myself in the mirror. I look good. Happy. And I wonder if I should join Facebook so that you can link your profile and mine. I should get on that, now, before you have to nag me, and add it to the list in my head. I let the water run hot over my hands, and I don't know if I can really join Facebook for you. I read somewhere that kids now are so dishonest that there's an actual game they play called Truth. You go to someone's wall, such bullshit language, and you write, "Truth is ... and then reveal something both surprising and true. It's a sad and grotesque thing that you and your friends have become so accustomed to lies that the truth has to be prefaced, because it's inherently surprising, a startling departure from the lies that comprise your lives. But you're done with that now, and maybe before you delete your Facebook profile, you'll make just one last status update. Truth is, I fucking love the Da Vinci Code. We've got big decisions to make, Beck. Will you move in with me? Will I move in with you? Will we stay in New York? Granted, I have this great job, but I think you'd do well in California. You don't know enough to be around New York writers. And now that we have each other, we can roam. I look at my Da Vinci Code on top of yours. They look good together, Beck. This is right. I pick up the bar soap and get a good lather going. I'm sad to wash off you and the vanilla ice cream, but then again, I'm excited to soil myself anew with your sweat and your cum, your juices and your saliva. The fan is loud and my dick is hard and I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to wake you up with my mouth. I'm going to eat you alive. It's a good thing I keep a toothbrush handy and it's dry and I smile because the next time I brush my teeth, the brush will be wet because you will have used it. I feel holy and dedicated as Silas while I brush my teeth and dampen my pits and spray the cologne I bought to smell like the bartender. God, I know you. I splash some water in my hair. I would shave, but I miss you too much. I need to eat you, and I need to eat you now. I flick the switch. The lights go out and the fan slows, and I do not open the door. Something is wrong. The silence is cracked by terrible sounds. Feet pounding on the floorboards, your distressed vocal cords, help, and the front door resisting you as you tug. I grab our books and creep out of the bathroom, and you are still up front and pounding, and it is fortunately 4 o'clock in the morning and there's nobody around to hear you. Whoever called New York the city that never sleeps didn't work at Mooney Rare and Used. I walk to the center of the shop and see you at the front, your crazy hair, crazy limbs, and my mother's Nirvana t-shirt, pulling at the door with both hands, so lost in your mission that you don't hear me coming. I'm quiet as a cat. I take soft, meaningful steps, and I set our Da Vinci codes on the counter. You do not sense me, and you're so close to the glass door that you don't see my reflection. I was right. You couldn't find the key. I wrap my arms around you and you kick. No! Let go of me, you sick fuck! I have a solid grip on you, and it's a shame that you're in a rage because I could really give it to you right now. But you are an animal, kick, and a handicapped monster. Why do you waste time flailing your arms, little one? You can't reach me. I carry you down the aisle and drag you onto the floor behind the counter. I slide us to the floor and stretch my legs and hold you on my lap. Even if someone were to pass by, we would go unnoticed, protected as we are by the counter. You fight to get away, but I can hold you for the rest of my life if I have to. As always, your anger eventually cools. Your muscles relax, and you're my new doll, Sad Beck. You don't talk. You just cry. You don't fight me, and there is hope. I kiss your neck. You don't like it. It's not a time for kisses, I understand. This is a lot to take in, a lot of change, and the sun isn't coming up for a while, and I rock you and look at your naked legs on top of mine. This is what love looks like. I know it. You don't try to claw at me anymore. We sit in silence for so long that you must be ready to be good. I begin. I test you. So, what are we going to do with you? The correct answer? You should beg for my forgiveness, admit that you freaked out when you woke up alone. You thought I had abandoned you the way your father abandoned you, the way all the men in your life abandoned you. And then I promise to stay with you forever, and you caress my hands, and I forgive you, and let you guide my hands to your center, your magnet. I killed for you. I deserve you. I wish I could see your face, and you haven't answered, so I rephrase the question. What happens now, Beck? The correct answer, love. You answer, with a voice so flat I almost don't recognize you. I disappear. No. No. Listen to me, Joe, you say as you press your hands into mine in a manner that is entirely devoid of sex, of passion. I don't care about what you did to Benji or Peach. I get it. Benji really did have a drug problem, and Peach really did have issues. She was a liar, Beck. She even made up bullshit about her bladder. I know, you say, and you forgive too easily. I just loved that she loved me. And what do you want now? The correct answer, me. You sigh. You tell me that you don't want to be a writer. You want to go to Los Angeles and be an actress. Maybe if I don't get any jobs, well, maybe I'll write something for myself, you know? It gets worse. You tell me that you're basically a very lazy girl. I hold you and you elaborate on your flaws. Blythe is right. Half the time my stories really are just diary entries. Half the time I have to search or replace the names in order to turn the pages into fiction. That's how bad I am. Uh-huh, I say, and I'm not letting go, and these are the wrong answers. You don't want me, Joe. And I look at your feet, the toes that Peach molested in Little Compton. You think I'm this dreamy writer girl, but I'm not. Nicky has every right to hate me. I fully admit it. I didn't really want him. I just wanted him to leave his wife for me. I wanted to fuck up his kids, and yes, Joe, I do know how sick that sounds. No, you're not sick. You blurt, I saw you at my reading that night in Brooklyn. I knew you followed me. I hold on to you and kiss your head because we really are the same, and we are the house and the mouse, and you know it. You do. I thought so, I say. I hoped so. You squish your toes into my pants. Then you know I'd never turn you in, Joe. I'm the connector in all this. I'm the toxic one. I know this mess is my fault, and I would never go to the police. Joe, you let me out of here and I'm gone. Forever. I give you another chance. I don't want you to be gone forever. Oh, come on, you say like a friend. No sex between us. I think you can find another girl to read the Da Vinci Code with you. Beck, stop. Tell me you want me. I will walk out of the store and never look back. I swear to God, Joe. Beck, stop. But you don't stop. Joe, listen to me. I swear to you, I will disappear. And it will be like I don't even exist anymore. Let me go, and I promise that you will never ever see me again. I swear. Joe? You failed, and you do not get a gold star. And I squeeze your neck to make the wrong answers go away. They fester in your bulging eyes, and they turn your cheeks Nantucket red, and I squeeze harder. The wrong answers must be choked out through the bubbles of saliva that ooze from the corners of your gnarled mouth. You're a fucking idiot for thinking I want you out of my life, after all I've done for you. And this is not Reality Bites, and you don't want me over the other douchebags in your life, and I was wrong about you. You gasp. Joe! I will not be fooled. No, Beck. You whisper, help. And I am helping, because you need an exorcism, a rebirth. You have sinned, and you did manipulate Nicky, and you did lead Peach on, and you did stalk Benji. You're a monster, deathly, solipsistic to the bone, and you're blasphemous because all you want is you. I squeeze too hard. You've gone quiet. I let go. Beck, I say. I want to hear your voice. I call again. Beck. Beck! Nothing comes from you, and fuck. What have I done? I shake your body, and I can't hear you breathing, and I need to hear you breathing because Reality Bites is a stupid movie, and you did push Peach away, and Benji did lead you on, and Nicky did break the rules. So you said some stupid things. I do too sometimes, and I forgive you. I slide you off my lap and onto the floor. You're so still, and all the good in you is in you. Beneath those eyelids, latent. I love you for being so lovable. I'm sorry, Beck. I can't hold you responsible for the fact that people go crazy over you, and you have to wake up because I want to give you love, love, love. Crazy love. I push my hands into your tiny chest. You are breathing, I think. You must be breathing. There cannot be nothing inside of someone as lovely and lit as you. We had an everything ship. You're too robust and full of life and bathrobe rules and orgasms and pies and bitter caramel apples to be gone. I hate myself, and I love you, and I kiss you, and you don't kiss me back, and I beg you to come back, and I hold your little hands, and I look into your little eyes, and at the end of the play, Closer, upon which the movie is based, the Natalie Portman character gets hit by a car. She dies. In the movie, you don't see Natalie Portman die, and I like it better that way, and you cannot be dead, Beck. You're not even 25, and you don't do drugs, and you're safe and sweet and studious, and I lean over you so that my ear touches your lips. When you breathe, I want to hear it and taste it, and I wait. I wait for 16 centuries and 8 light years, and I pull away. You are gone. I stand up and grab my hair, and I want to pull it out because you can't run your fingers through it anymore. And maybe I'm wrong, and I get back down on the ground and mash my head into your hand and wait for you to touch me. Please, Beck, please. But your fingers don't move, and when I lift my head up, the silence feels official. It's hateful, impersonal, unlike the peaceful silence of the basement. You don't rise up to forgive me and ward off the evil silence that weighs me down more every second that you're mute. I look at you. You don't look at me. Your body is just parts now. You can't help me because you left me, because you wanted to be gone, forever. Your crimes are many, and you stole my love story, and I pick up your Da Vinci Code. I am stunned because some of the pages have never been turned. I know my way around a book. I think you skipped entire passages, you brainless phony. When you asked me where I was in the book, you were cheating. The most romantic time of my life was a hoax, and I'm so preoccupied with exploring your Da Vinci Code that I don't see you come back to life. But you do. You tricked me, you cunt. You latch onto my ankle and pull, and I fall over and I drop your Da Vinci Code and land on my side, and it hurts, goddammit. And you kick me in the dick, and that hurts, goddammit. You are not gone forever, and you are possessed and out of words, and my groin aches and my side pounds, and you are not my savior. You make things worse. You are alive, underhanded, kicking me when I'm down, and I scream in agony, and you're toxic and I satanic, because just a minute ago, you were dead, you fucking bitch. You say nothing, you kick, but I'm non-toxic and I'm bigger and braver, and God gives me the strength to recover from your nasty blows. I swat your legs and now you collapse flat on your back. I mount you. You try to bite me but you can't, and you try to kick me but you can't, and you try to claw me but your wrists are locked in my hands. You can't do anything with me pinning you down. You spit at my face. You are a masshole. You are weaker now when I let go of your arms and wrap my hands around your neck for real this time. You try to hit me, but your little fists aren't what they once were. The bad in you outweighs the good, and your cheeks turn white, and my cock throbs in pain, and my hip bone pulsates and your eyes bulge. You're disgusting. My mother's Nirvana t-shirt that I was wearing the day you stalked me to my house, the one I've held on to my whole life. It's a mess of cum and manila. You've torn it beyond repair, you bitch. You were right, Beck, I say to you. You kill people. You do. I squeeze your neck and I thank you for kicking me in the dick, and I try to blink your saliva out of my eyelashes. I thank you for providing beyond a reasonable doubt that you are bad. You do not want love or life, and we never had a chance, and you are commonplace and raw, gasping and gurgling. Solipsistic, with your fudgy, inconsiderate fingerprints ruining my books, my heart, my life. What's that, Beck? You have one word left in you. Help. And I do help you. I take my right hand and reach for your Da Vinci Code. I shove the book into my mouth and I bite a few pages. I yank the book away and I toss it and grab the torn pages out of my mouth, wet with my saliva that you wanted so badly. My last words to you? Open up, Guinevere. I shove the pages into your mouth and your pupils slip around and your back arches. This is the sound of you dying. There are bones cracking. Where? I do not know. And tear ducts in emergency mode. The tear of death seeps out of your left eye and onto your porcelain cheek, and your eyes are fixated on somewhere I've never traveled. Gladly beyond any experience, your eyes have their silence. You're no better than a doll now, and you do not react as the pages in your mouth take the blood that rises from your gullet. And all at once I miss you and you missed me, and I call to you and I seize your tiny shoulders. You don't respond. You're as flawed as all the books in the store. You have ended and left me, and you're gone forever. You will never leave me in the dark ever again, and I will never wait for a response from you ever again. Your light is out for good now, and I take you in my arms. No. I want to throw myself in front of engine number 9. How could I have done this? I never made you pancakes. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't breathe, and you're my sweet lord, Beck. Different. Hot. You are. Where? I cry. Okay, folks. I'm gonna stop right here. I think that's a good note to end on. And whatever is left after this, well, if it's not too much, we can just kind of mosey on into the second book, right? Because it doesn't get any better. Well, I mean, it gets better in the sense that it gets more interesting, but it sure as fuck gets a lot worse. But thank you for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for all the interruptions with my dog. Hope y'all enjoyed it. As I mentioned earlier, the VOD will be up on Twitch and YouTube pretty much as soon as I close the stream. So thank you all for hanging out. I hope you have a lovely rest of your Monday and a lovely rest of your week. Hope I'll see you guys again sooner than later. And bye for now.
Rule 34 applies. Rule 34 is there is porn of it, no exceptions. This applies to kink as well. You would not believe the type of kinks that are out there. You would not believe the type of fetishes that people have. Anything can be a fetish.